Hey there. So I wanted to do this potentially as a live stream. I think it would make sense to do these types of videos more as a live stream, but it is almost 8 p.m. and I didn't really feel like doing that right now. Could have because I have free will, but decided not to. Anyway, this is also like kind of a preliminary video for something else that I'm going to do, and I'm going to make it a little bit more polished. I have this idea right now, and I'm going to research and create what I'm going to do through this video. So if you don't want to watch this, then don't watch this. There'll be something, potentially more polished. But I feel that there is value to what I'm about to do. So I'm going to try to do it, and I'm going to shut up and I'm just going to go do it. So this is the thought process. I had this idea that I want to create like a free little video on YouTube that's kind of like AI for dummies. I'm sure it already exists. I didn't even look because if I look, then I'll start second guessing whether I should do it or not. And you should do it. Like I should do it because it's going to continue to build my authority as somebody that's doing this. It's going to help me understand the stuff even more than I do now because I've amassed a little bit of knowledge. It's just a good thing to do. It's low hanging fruit. I'm going to do it. I'm going to continue to move in this direction, and I'll have like a piece of little bit. Maybe it's not evergreen, but it's a good piece of like foundational content. So here's the deal. What I've done so far is very, very simple. I went over into Notion, where there's a lot of other things that I want to show you, but I can't just yet, just because they're literally not done. But here's a little sneak peek of it right here with the Mark core situation. There's a lot of shit going on over here. Personal context layer. Okay, we'll just leave it at that for right now. But more on that to be, in due time. All I did here was I just messing around with this in Notion real quick, but I just want to give you the entire process. I went over here and I just put, literally like in my head all of the words maybe that you, depending on who you are, have heard, right? The words in this idea of AI land, right? And all like the stuff. Like this is big. This is me, even in my WordPress like main days there. I was just like the dynamic data guy, really like the data architecture and data structure guy. I love writing things and creating almost like relationships between different things and kind of making like a mental mind map of how everything works once I start to navigate it myself. And that's exactly what my vision is for this little piece of content that I want to create. So I'm going to use AI to help create the AI content because that's what we do now in 2026. So this is just like the very beginning, right? Now the reason I'm showing this because this is where I did it initially. Then I just downloaded it really quick. I exported it as a markdown file, put it in a folder. It's just in a folder on my desktop, and it's an MD file. Okay, so I just named it like start MD markdown. And then over here, all markdown file is, by the way, is maybe I should write this somewhere in here as well. I'll just like write it over here, like markdown files or something. Maybe some other, I don't know, like just like file types or something. I actually don't know how to write. I don't know how to generate this in markdown. So is what it is. But this is the concept, right? Maybe I'll put like, I don't know, JSON. I don't want this to get out of hand, but like it gets out of hand really quickly. So the concept here though, again, is that I just have words, like words that are categorized under some sort of type of thing that I am not even 1000% sure on how I want to structure it yet, or exactly what I want to call every single thing. Because this has gotten out of hand super fast in AI, in the grand scheme of AI world. Everything just hits you like a fucking Mack truck. And I want to be the person. I want to be one of the people that try to sort everything out because that's what I like to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a chat with Claude, and you're going to like sit here and listen to me, and I'm going to think about we're going to go back and forth on this, and we're going to try to structure something a little bit better. I'm going to give Claude all the context that it needs using Whisper Flow. Link in the description if I post this somewhere, because it's a fantastic thing. I'm just going to talk into this, and we're just going to have a conversation. So you're going to get the idea here very fast, but yeah. Okay, so let's do it. Hey, Claude. Okay, so here's the deal. You're in this directory here with me. We are in obviously Claude Code, and I'm going to give you the full context of what's going on here. I want to create a simple course, and I want to do this kind of step by step with you. Okay, we're not going to build anything. We're just going to like plan stuff here and kind of think about it. I am doing this obviously in Claude Code. Like I said, maybe we'll get to some sort of coding aspect, but I'm just going to have a chat with you. So let's not build anything. Just help me out here. Okay. first you need to understand the lay of the land. We have a start.md folder here, or a markdown file rather, in our directory. And I want you to go ahead and read that and understand just what's in there. It's a very baseline thing. My goal here is to create some sort of like a course and ultimately some sort of, I want to do it in text first. Okay. I want you to help me edit this markdown file as we go, not yet, to get our bearings straight of what these things are called, what they are. And then ultimately, I'm going to take this markdown file somewhere else and I'm going to generate more graphics and, some sort of like maybe interactive something or other that I can put together. Right. So that's the main thing right now that I want to try to work on. I need your help with this. So just tell me that you can read the markdown file and kind of give me like your take on what's going on so far, just so I understand where you're at. Go. Cool. All right. We're going to exit out of Slack so it stops popping up. Thank you. Okay. All right. You got a rough brainstorming glossary document that is organizing AI landscape into categories, essentially terms and concepts. I know this is probably extremely small. I'm on a 4K monitor with the thing to like 100%, and I don't know how to get it. I don't think you can get it any larger on here. So sorry about that. I'm going to have to figure that out at some point. But I'll read, skim through some of this stuff. Okay. All right. So big AI companies, models, modals, a few observations. The models list mixes model families with specific products. That could be distinguishing those. Modals should be more like modalities. Okay. Some categories. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is honest to God, like this, I think what the meta of what I'm doing right here is actually really, really important and really helpful, because this is how you should be learning now. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't be watching YouTube videos, because I currently make YouTube videos, but literally I think that you should be learning like this. You should be creating, like you should be just going into AI with an idea and just start like learning a topic extremely rapidly. This is literally this is how it works. Like you could learn everything you could in a course in college if you just asked enough questions and you asked the right questions, right? If you have like even a scent on the trail of like what you want to learn, I mean, it's unbelievable. So that's how I've been using it. So let's keep going. Okay. So what this is telling me is that it knows what's there. Obviously I knew it was going to know it was there, but I want to like kind of clean this up a little bit. Okay, Claude. So here's my question. Just to double check, I'm almost certain on this, but like if we start talking about some things, you're going to be able to go in here and make some changes to this, obviously, correct? Like this markdown, you can help me kind of rearrange things and we can learn together, right? Don't do anything yet, but just clarify. Almost certain. Yeah. This is why I like, as a side note, this is why I like Claude Code. And how do I put it? Like, like you can do this kind of with like Claude or whatever. Like if you did like an artifact and it created it and it changed it, but I just feel like actually working with the AI as an assistant to some sort of like document or some sort of stable thing. In this case, it's a markdown file, but there's probably other ways to do it. That it's better, because then like this is like this. I know this is shit right now, but this is the thing I care about. Okay. I don't give a fuck about this really. Like, this is my helper. This is my employee. Like, I don't care about what's in this chat. I don't ever want to create a situation where, like, because I have before, where like I'm doing a bunch of stuff in the chat and then the chat becomes the thing that I care about because that's where the information is. No, 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 no. You want to get the information into something, right? That's why people love Claude Code, because it's like taking context that you put in it, but also it's like looking at files. And I keep saying Claude Code, but it's Codex. It's, it's whatever. It's these other ones. Like you just, it's get it into like a permanent type thing. Like this isn't going to go away. This is a literal file on your computer, on GitHub, etc. Get it over there. So, and this is just the simple way that I thought about doing this today. So, different strokes for different folks, and it's going to get different moving forward. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like for us to go through this one at a time and try to make this. I don't want you to delete anything right now from this markdown file. I have a copy of it, so that doesn't matter. But I want you to help me go through this, because there's a lot of information that I could talk about in kind of a like a course or a big video about all this, just to give people like that are uninitiated and just don't know anything about this stuff, because I feel like that's a huge swath of people. I want to create a piece of content that is like a beginner's guide almost to kind of like AI and understanding it. And I want to go like from the very like tippy, like I think of it as like the very beginning almost of not history of it, but like understanding like the concepts, right? Because if you don't understand, people are coming in here at like varying different, pieces of understanding, and it's kind of rough. So I'm just trying to organize everything. So I think the best place to start, and you can help me with this, but like one of the best places to start is let's put this thing in order of how you should think about it mentally. And I think maybe one of the easiest places to start, again, as I have it up there, is like the top AI companies, the companies that are actually driving a lot of this forward. Do you think that's a solid place to start? And yes or no? And then also, do you think that the list that I have there is enough, or what are your thoughts there? Now, when I was doing this again, like originally, I thought like Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, and XAI were really the big ones. Um, but yeah, so starting with companies is a solid first move. It gives people a concrete anchor, real names before you hit them with abstract concepts. Yeah. Okay. So as for your list, oh, Meta. Okay, obviously Meta, and then Microsoft. They're deeply tied to OpenAI. Yeah, I don't know. And then Amazon, Bedrock, and their investments. The question really is about scope. If focused on companies building frontier models, then your 4+ meta covers it well. If you're focused on companies shaping AI, then yeah. Yeah, so that's a good question. Thank you for that clarifier. Yeah, I don't think that we need to include Microsoft and Amazon, to my knowledge. I I want to talk about like the AI, because here's the big thing. Okay, this is a hallmark. You got to remember this, and maybe even make a note of this in this file or something, like just as like almost like a note or a comment. This, like, you can put this at like kind of the top, like the description. This video or this like little course thing, this isn't about like everything about AI. I want to make this like very specific to the biggest confusion in this is that everybody is hearing all of these damn buzzwords and all of these different things that are going on in AI, and they ultimately, like, they think AI is a buzzword because there's not enough understanding about it. The reality of the situation, like we just said, like we just saw here, is like if you don't control the LLM, then you don't control like a lot of things. Like if you're not creating your own LLMs, which I'm sure there's probably more people that are doing it now, but like the biggest companies, right? Like are those five that we're talking about here, right? Like, I mean, I guess Amazon is making their own thing, but are they really doing anything like with like, is Bedrock like more of a public thing? Also, this is going to change. I'm not naive to that, but like those five that we're talking about, Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, XAI, and Meta, they are like at the forefront of, like, they have models, right? Or am I wrong? There's obviously more, and I got to figure that out. Because there's definitely like all these other like DeepSeek and all this other shit that like I've kind of used, but the actual LMs are everything else sits on top of. That's the distinction. Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, they're integrating, distributing, investing. Yeah, I don't want to fucking talk about them in this. Your point about the buzzword confusion is exactly the right framing for this course. People hear AI and it becomes catch-all. Breaking it down into here your things. Okay, I'm going to structure it. To your question about Amazon, better, essentially a marketplace. Okay, I don't give a fuck about that then. Yeah, go ahead and do that. I just have one more question though, because I know there's like a ton of other LLMs out there, but like a lot of them are like open source, and we got to kind of like sift through all that. But like for example, like DeepSeek and Quen or whatever, are those by companies or what? What I don't have enough experience with those ones. Okay, DeepSeek is built by a Chinese lab funded by Highflyer. Quen is Alibaba's model. Both are legitimate model builders, but both are open weight, which means they can be downloaded and run them. The reason I didn't include them in the initial five is because your course seems U.S. Western audience focused, which is the five the most likely. DeepSeek especially has earned a spot in the conversation. So you could handle this a couple ways. Add DeepSeek and Quen Alibaba to the list. Make it 7 companies. Mention them as notable. Others are also worth knowing tier. Save them for later section when we talk about open weight, open source models. No. I mean, I kind of want to put them in there. Let's just put them in there for now. Are there any other big ones that I'm missing then? Because again, like what like again, I'm really trying to like make this as segmented as possible. We need like all of like the I'm not it doesn't have to be like top 10 or top 5 specifically, but we need like any name that you've heard of. If you've heard of like, a model and it's backed by some sort of company, we kind of need to put it in the top thing. Now, obviously, the 5 we talked about are the most popular, especially in the West, but I think those 2 at least, earn a spot in there. But what are their companies? Is it literally Alibaba and I don't even know. I don't think you gave me a company name for the other one. Are there put those in there. Let's put those in there, but are there any other ones as well that I'm forgetting or not knowing enough that are notable? Okay. Minstrel Cohere. Holy shit. Okay. Stability AI. Yeah, would you talk about those? Oh, the company is called DeepSeek. Oh, I see. Okay. Minstrel is the strongest candidate. Add alongside DeepSeek and Quen. Coherent or more niche. Stability matters if you're going to cover image generation. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Let's add DeepSeek and Quen. Add. You know what? Fuck it. Just add all of those. Just add all of those to the company, and just we'll do it in order, obviously, of like prevalence, and that'll be fine. Let's see if it actually does this. Okay, upload the file or updating the file. Obviously, it's gonna do it. Let's see how good it does it. Oh, Jesus Christ! Every time I want to turn this off. I thought I turned it off. Okay. All right. Lovely, lovely, lovely. This is nice, man. This experience needs to continue. I need to continue to do this more often. All right. The goal of this course is to cut through the buzzword confusion. It's not a history of AI or deep technical whatever. Okay, cool. So big AI companies: Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, XAI, Meta, DeepSeek, Alibaba Cloud, Minstrel, Cohere. Okay, so like those are perfect. All right, great. All right, lovely. All right, so now we have the companies, right? Like that's where I would kind of start. I'd think about, okay, hey, AI is confusing, whatever. I mean, here are the big companies when you think about all these things. These are the people that are like literally, have led the charge. Again, not necessarily the history of all of them, but like when you think of AI, actual innovation, not distribution, not integration, you're probably talking about somewhere in this realm. Like one of these companies are probably creating the shit that you're using are integrated in some regards. Again, the big thing I want to get past here, is I don't want people to think about and maybe make a note. I don't want to lose this information that I'm giving you. Maybe we make another file or maybe we make a note. Let's think about this. But like the idea here is I kind of want like almost like a little bit of a script too, or again, at least notes kind of throughout here. The AI companies, like I just had this, realization. It's not a realization, or other people probably realize it, but like you go to like some sort of AI tool, that you hear about on the internet, and it's like that is cool, but that's a wrapper around some sort of model, which we'll get to. But like ultimately, the model is made by one of these companies. So this is the top of the top here, like as far as this pyramid goes. Where do you think we should put some of that information, just so I don't forget to kind of describe that? You could literally just write a note there or make another file. Add speaker notes, scripts directly in the mark line under each section. Yeah, can you go ahead and do that? Yeah, somewhere in there. That'll work. Okay. Perfect. Lovely. Okay, do you think that models makes the most sense to move? It's either going to be it's either going to be models. I mean, there's a million different ways we can go. I'm just trying to think of how to tell the story, right? Because it has to be the thing again, the big thing that people get confused on is models versus chat interfaces, because this all happened. We do need to make a note somewhere as we're talking about all this about the whole history situation where ChatGPT came out, blew everybody's minds, but ultimately this has been around for a long time. We're not talking about the whole thing, but like we just need to make reference to that. ChatGPT is, I don't actually know if chat interface is the right term, but it's not a model. It's a wrapper. It's a chat interface, chat wrapper thing. The models are, they're all different, but there's like, mostly they, GPT something, right? So we need to think about the next best thing for me to talk about. It might actually be simplest to just talk about modalities next, because it's like, okay, these companies wanted to do like they wanted to create LLMs. And then now like and also we need to define that, but like they wanted to create models, right? Which is large language models or whatever, right? So I don't know, just what are your thoughts on this? Modalities. Yeah, you've established who builds AI. The next question is what kinds of things can AI actually do? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Flows naturally. Yeah, I'm losing my voice. Cool. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Let's reorganize. And while you're at it, you can add, you can change modals to modalities. You can change that like heading or whatever the thing is there. I don't know if it's actual heading. I don't think it is. And you can fill that out. So I think, my thought process was text, image, and video. I guess you have audio as well. Is there more than that? I mean, like again, I think this is another situation where it's like you want to try to keep it as basic as possible because it is basic, even though there's a ton of different tools out there that can do multiple different things. But maybe even educate me a little bit on this. Like, I'm pretty sure every model, we're not at models yet, but I'm pretty sure every model has, does it only have one modality? I'm trying to think of examples. Not sure on that. I think. Does every model only have one modality? Okay. Models used to be single modality, but that's increasingly not the case. Today's frontier models trending. Okay, I've heard multimodal, I guess. Yeah, but I didn't know the model could be multimodal. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I knew you could do input. Is that going to work? Okay. I didn't know you could do input. I knew you could do input. I didn't know there's output of them. Google built it from the ground up to be multimodal, text, image, audio, video. Okay. Okay. All right. There are still models that are specialized for one modality. Sora, Stable Diffusion, DALL-E. So I understand it's a mix. Some models do one thing, increasingly big ones do multiple. That's actually useful talking point. Trend is towards that. Everything are still specialist models for for your course. You keep modalities. Okay, so there's 4 modalities, right? They could change. Yeah. Okay, real quick though, because code is going to be kind of an important thing. Is code just a subcategory of text? Sure it is, right? I think I go like this though. I think maybe. Yeah. I'm going to do that for now. So I'm just going to say text and code generation like that. Okay, so modalities, we have those. They can be multimodal. All right, cool. Types of content you work with. Okay, okay, turn towards okay. Okay. All right. All right. So then, okay. So now where we're at is we have our companies, we have our modalities. Again, they could be a mix. Does it say that in there? Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, you put that in there. Okay, so they could be mixed. They could be whatever. We just need to talk about this. I don't really know. Maybe it's just a talking point. I don't really think it's a category, but you gave me an interesting perspective on that. I didn't realize, and I'm actually still kind of confused. When you say multimodal, we do need to absolutely put a quick little note in here, okay? You're saying multimodal, and that makes sense. Like obviously, like I've dropped like images and like audio, video, like all this stuff. Like I've dropped stuff into like Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT. Obviously, it reads it, but is there a way that the industry describes input and output modalities? Because that's kind of confusing to me. So Claude is a great example. The thing can only output text, right? Like it can't. I've never. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't output images, right? It doesn't output video. It doesn't output audio, but you can put images in. So like we don't need to like necessarily like maybe in some of the models. I'm not going to list every fucking model. That's ridiculous. But like before we get to models, shouldn't we say like a little bit of a note about we need to say something a little bit more about like input and output. Like, is there a way that that's described? I never even realized that. Like, I knew what multimodal was, but I never realized that that is a real confusion. Industry does distinguish between input and output modalities, but there's no single clean term. Input modalities, output modalities. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know exactly where to put that, but oh, nice. Look at that. I see you already updated text generated text and code. Nice. Fuck yeah, dude. Okay. Did it already do that real quick? Nice. Just automatically edits now. Sick. Okay. All right. So before we get into specific, we need to understand the types of content to work with. Multimodal just means they can handle more. So text and code. Okay, cool. Yeah. So text and code, image and code. Okay. Here's where it gets tricky. When someone says a model is multimodal, ask input or output or both. Okay, you drop a photo on it. Okay, cool. Love that for us. Okay, awesome. All right. So I think it obviously moved all this stuff already. All right. All right. Actually, sigh. I don't know why it does that. Okay. So now we got to get moved into the models, and this one's where it starts to get like kind of annoying and really out of hand really fast, and I'd rather not let it get out of hand really fast. So there's a ton of models, like obviously, right? I mean, there's a literal shit ton of models. Now, I want to talk like at a super high level about how these models actually get trained. Like, I don't want to go into depth. I don't really fully understand it. There's obviously like training data. Like, I think at the core of it, it's like you give it a shit ton of stuff. Like if you want to train it on images, right? So whatever people say, like they stole a bunch of images and they gave it to the thing, and then it kind of just trained itself on it. I do want to talk like briefly about that. So let's make a note somewhere about that. But that doesn't belong like right away. It's like we just talked about modalities, so now we have to talk about models. And the point that we make here is that you're going to hear the word there's also multiple different things here, right? There's LLM, there's models. We have to make a list of like what these things are called. There's LLM, large language model. There's models. I think I was dabbling in the image generation thing, and there's other names for those. So like what are those other like we need synonyms, like whatever other people call them, but I think most of the time it's LLM or model. So like anything there. But then we need a good way to we need a good way to like kind of orient this, right? What you see that I have there was kind of like it's going to be really tough. I kind of just did it in rough outline of kind of by company, and like just like, obviously those aren't even real models. So maybe just give me like maybe just let's just kind of like think about the models here and just like let's make some notes about like, okay, so again, we talked about the companies. These are the companies again. Let's kind of almost like restate some of the companies and put some like an example, some example models. You know what I mean? I don't know the best way to kind of describe that, but realistically now this is almost turning into a database, right? It's like model, or I'm sorry, it's company, and then the model, and then what modality it is for input and output. I don't really want to go that crazy with this, but you're AI and you can just whip this up really fast. So maybe can you do almost like a table in Markdown? I don't really know if we need to do all that, but like that's kind of how I think about it. Is literally like now we know what those things are. So the first column would be like company, second column would be the model name, third column would be the input modalities of that model in question. Fourth column would be like the output modalities. What do we think? This is pretty sick. I didn't even think about that until I just like visualized that right now. LLM diffusion model. Oh yeah. LLM diffusion model, foundation model, SLM. There's another one. I can't remember. What the hell is it called? It's called it's literally in like focus. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh man. Okay, it's getting out of hand. We're gonna have to can we open this in? Is this gonna look better if we open it somewhere else? All right. Okay. Maybe I should just I mean, I think Markdown is the right move here, but like eventually I'm gonna have to just like, kind of put this into a thing. Okay, so talking point terminology, point people through, here's what they actually mean. So model, LLM, diffusion model, architecture for most images, broader for a large pre-trained model. Okay, might play around with some of that, but at a high level, these models are trained by feeding enormous amounts of data, text, internet books. Model learns from whatever. Okay, so company, models, input, output. Sick. Can I don't think you can like just I'm actually just gonna ask I don't know the answer to this question. Hey, quick question. Is there any easy way to preview this markdown file? I don't know if I necessarily need to use like a local host thing, but like can I open this in just so I can see the formatting? Can I open it somewhere else or open it if I could open it right in VS Code here as a window, that'd be sick too. I actually don't know the answer to this question. Oh yeah, Control Shift V. Fuck, forgot. Ha! Easy money. Oh, that's sick. Lovely. Awesome. Okay, cool. This is easier to look at, especially now that there's all this shit in here. Okay, great. Perfect. All right, so company models, input, output. There we go. Lovely. Okay. Okay, so Anthropic, Claude, text, images, PDF, OpenAI. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fine. Didn't really name the models as I thought it would, but that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Ultra Pro Flash. I don't think there's like enough information there to be completely honest. But is what it is. The output is so the interesting part here is the input is important, but the output is more important because when you think about an AI model, you really don't give a shit what it can input. Like obviously you do, but like your first thought isn't your first thought isn't input. Your first thought is output. I didn't even know you could put video into Gemini like that. Okay, another random thing is, hey, okay, I'm really liking this. We gotta spruce this up a little bit more though. This table. So, the first thing is this is a simple one for like Claude, like put Opus 4.5, put like whatever the most recent as of your knowing, like put the numbers in there for those ones. The Gemini one is tough because like I don't understand like Ultra Pro and Flash. Like that's those almost are those like actual models? Is Ultra a model? I could be wrong. That's kind of weird. But then there's also like, is Google Veo a model, or is that just like a wrapper around something? Because the reality here is that if somebody was looking at this, right, and they have like a vague idea of AI, but they don't know like deeper context around this, they're not going to think about input. Like the first thing you think about with one of these models is you think about the output. Like you think about what you are going to get out of this as a result. You're not going to think about like the input. We want to keep the input there. I'm just saying that like the output is more important. And I'm only seeing one video on there right now. So, and I know there's probably more video, like there's some other things that are happening here, right? Unless I'm wrong, and unless Veo is like actually just like as an example, it just creates images and then it makes them. I don't know. Is what are we actually like? What actually generates like video now, for instance, and what else can we? I just feel like there's more going on in this list. Can we talk about some more options we can add to this? There's got to be more than this. Claude only focuses on text. OpenAI. All right, let's see. Gemini, naming, Ultra Pro, Flash. Those are the tiers of the Gemini model. Think of them as sizes. Ultra is the biggest, most capable. Well, where the fuck is Ultra at? Why don't I get Ultra? They're distinct models just within the Gemini family. Google Veo. Yes, Veo is its own model. Okay, well, we need to add that then. Did it change anything? I don't think it did. No, not yet. Google Veo 2, okay. Runway. What the fuck? Okay, Kling, another video, okay. Image generation, missing. Image Gen 3. It's not Image Gen 3, it's Nano Banana. Isn't it? Or is it image? Do they just call that shit something else for no reason? Okay. Okay. There's a lot of people fucking around here. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make those edits. Add this stuff in there, like you said. I mean, one question that I have though is you have Imagen 3. Is that Nano Banana Pro or is that something else? Nobody ever, like, if this tells me that it doesn't know what that is, it's crazy how often that is. No, it doesn't know what that is. I don't know why it doesn't know what that is. That's so funny. That is hilarious to me. Okay. It's adding our companies. It's adding. That's so cool. All right. So we added some more companies. Whatever. I'm not going to obviously talk, and we don't need to go in depth to all the companies. We just need to understand that there's companies, there's modalities, there's models. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Love it. Text, image. Again, this is not meant to be an all-encompassing thing. I'm just trying to think about myself and think about like what I know, because I know like a decent amount at this point. Well, Grok. Okay. I was gonna say we needed to do something, but I was thinking like Grok generates videos, but Grok doesn't generate videos. Like, I don't think. Well, actually, let me ask, because Grok doesn't actually generate images. I don't think it does, right? Doesn't it use Flux? Okay, here's a question for you. Hang on a second. So via this table, Grok 3 as an example, the output of Grok 3, is it technically images? Well, and video. I've questions about both. Is it technically images, or doesn't it use Flux to output images? Am I wrong on that? I could be wrong on that. But if I'm right on that, then Flux is the one that actually like Flux is the one that does images, and that's the model. It's underneath Grok, and then Grok would come into play in our chat interfaces. Unless I'm wrong. Does it actually do that? Does it actually output images? This shit is so confusing. Like, it's actually not confusing. It's just unbelievable, like, how much shit is going on here. Oh. Okay. It's called Aurora. Okay. It's exactly the kind of confusion you're trying to clear up. Is the image generation part of Grok the model, or is it part of a separate thing called Aurora? Technically, Aurora is a separate model. Grok the LM handles text. Yeah, make that fucking change then. Yeah, please make sure you I want to try to keep this again. Like, I mean, again, if you want to look through the whole models list right now, I want to be very specific about this, you know, like, because the next thing we're going to be talking about here is chat interfaces, and that's a whole nother layer, obviously. So let's make sure we're accurate and we're not overstepping with what the actual models do. And I'm going to be honest with you. I actually wouldn't be mad if you didn't ever have multiple models. You know, let's actually do that real quick. Separate out all these models, okay? So like for instance, like Anthropic, you have multiple models. Just do like multiple lines. You don't need to put every model that these companies have ever had, but do separate multiple lines, because I think some of them we might be kind of, you know, slightly inaccurate on the input and the output of each individual model. You know what I mean? Or we could just do the latest model, but I don't know. I'd rather just do it like this for now, because I could always delete them. Like, if nobody gives a fuck about 03, for instance, anymore, then I'll just get rid of that. But my point is, like, realistically, I'd like to kind of have like the latest and greatest models from each one and accurately stated, you know? So like, again, like this, kind of like Anthropic, Claude Opus 4.5, right? Has text input, image input, PDF. That's kind of fucking stupid, but whatever. I mean, I guess PDFs are their own separate thing, but then output is text. Okay, cool. So I could honest to God, like, I could probably get rid of these ones, but like, that's fine, whatever. I'll just say like, this is like a sampling, you know? Okay, that looks good. One quick note is in the talking point, or like a note. It doesn't need to be a talking point. It should be like a note above the model, or above the table, saying that these are like some of the most popular models, you know, by the, you know, the companies that we've talked about. This is not an exhaustive list, because they obviously go back like years before this in some cases, like with OpenAI or whatever. Just make that note that this isn't like an exhaustive list. This is like kind of like the most notable ones right now, just so you can kind of understand how it works, and, you know, maybe some of your, you know, for whatever you're researching or whatever. Okay. I don't know what some of this shit even is, though. That's a problem, but we'll move on to chat interfaces. No, hang on a second, buddy. Gemini 2.5 Pro, Gemini 2.5 Flash. I'm pretty sure there's Gemini 3, though. Are you sure that all these models we have to at least include like definitely the most recent, you know, up-to-date models as of today, like January 29th, 2026. I'm noticing some weird inconsistencies, so I'm not sure. Like, I'm noticing, like, I'm pretty sure Google has a newer model. Isn't it called Gemini 3 Pro? Isn't that the most recent one? Yes. 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 Oh yeah, fucking OpenAI has like 3 ahead of that, don't they? They have like 5.0, 5.2. The Imagen 3 thing is definitely wrong. Yeah, this isn't perfect, but Oh, okay. Nice. But he needs work, dude. Which that's the other thing is I don't understand the training cutoff situation either. I got to think about that. We got to make a note about that. We got to make a note about that right here because it's a model situation. Okay. Hopefully this data is accurate that it's getting off of here. What? Yeah, that was a huge update. Huge. Glad we have the web search capabilities so we can get some accurate data. Thank you. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now we have the codex situation. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. That's great. Yeah, we'll deal with more of this. Hang on a second. Can you check the rest of them? Did you check every single one on the table? Like, I don't think you checked runway or flux, did you? Goddamn thing's not doing what I tell it to do. Check them all. Okay, so I do want to make a note about the training data situation. So we need to make I don't know if I'm doing something crazy here by chance, unrelated. This is a great way to compile information. It's so simple. It's unbelievable. I do see we're at 55% context used. That's annoying. We're gonna have to compact at some point. But we have a markdown file with all of our shit in it. So that's a beautiful part of this. Okay, it's literally checking them all. Okay, yeah. Thanks for only checking half of them the first time. Piece of shit. Yeah, I want to make a point about the fact of the training data. It's like one common thing you're going to run into is that the training data only went up to a certain amount of time. But the way that gets around that now is with web search, which is what we're seeing literally right now in our meta situation. This is going to be out of date in 2 days, but that's not the point. Not the point. Not the point. I'm not trying to make this an exhaustive list of models. That's not what my point is. All right, cool. All right, we love that. Thank you. Okay, so here's the deal. So we just saw in real time here a meta example of something that we have to make like another talking point or a note of. I think actually you kind of could do this as like a talking point of that training that you have there. So the reality is that these models were trained on data, right? They were trained on some sort of data set that was given to them. We don't need to go into depth there, but we do need to go into the idea of something that a normal person is going to run into is what we just ran into. Like the information that we got was not up to date enough because of whatever like in your case, your training, your training data set was trained on, right? So talk to me a little bit about that because I want to understand that a little bit better, but we also need to make a talking point on it because that is something that everyone's going to run into. And then secondarily to that, obviously, again, web search is something that I think that's a chat, if I'm not mistaken. That's a chat feature. I think it's not like a model feature, if I'm not mistaken. It's almost like a plugin or some sort of, again, an additional feature of the actual interface, not the model itself, because I think the model is the thing that has the limitation of the training, right? So just talk to me about that, and we need to make sure we note that because that's a really important part. This is so great. This is so great. I really enjoy doing this. That text is really small though, I bet. I'm so sorry about that. I mean, it's probably readable, not on a phone, but okay. You're exactly right. This is a critical point. Model itself has a knowledge cutoff. Okay. Nice. Good. Okay. So breakdown from a data point. So my training data cuts off around May 2025. So I genuinely don't know about um, Gemini 3 or whatever. Web search is not a model capability. That's a tool the interface provides. Lovely. Okay, so you ask a question, the interface, not the model, recognized and might need current info. The interface does it, and then so model, da da da. Yeah, this pattern you see a lot in tools and plugins. Yeah. Okay, so so we need to understand this. Um, somewhere in here, it's probably around this time. I'm gonna need to like literally diagram this. Like we had the companies, we had the modalities, that's whatever. But now it's like we have to think about this. Okay. All right. So that's all well and good. Appreciate you adding that. Here's the next situation, right? So I feel pretty good on this model situation. Like we have enough information here, and it seems like it's relatively up to date and whatever. Okay, maybe there's some problems, but whatever. I think it's pretty good. Our next situation is this chat interfaces. Now, this is going to get exponentially more complex right here. And I think right around this time, if I was presenting this, I would need to put together some sort of like a diagram or some sort of visual where like the you start to realize that the model is just kind of like, oh, that's what it is. Something's called an engine. There's like some sort of is models also called an engine? Like there's like the model that's the actual knowledge. And then now you start to layer on with these chat interfaces like an interface and a wrapper around it that gives it more features. And if you're a layperson, you literally don't understand. Like it's hard to understand unless you dive into it. What is actually coming from the model and what is actually coming from the interface. So maybe let's just chat about this a little bit and strategize and let's dive in. I'm gonna just scroll down here. Yeah, ChatGPT is not a model, it's a chat interface. Yeah, okay, so we had that from earlier. I have chat interfaces here. It didn't move that, I guess. We have environment types. Okay. Conceptual order of this whole course, model versus interface confusion is where most people get lost. You're right that visual would be essential here. Think of it like this. All right. So the layer one is the model and the engine. This is the raw brain, takes in text. That's basically it. There's no memory between these conversations, no web access. Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you see it stripped down. The interface, the car built around the engine. This is where this is. Okay. So where someone like ChatGPT says web search, okay, none of the ChatGPT. All that ChatGPT, the interface orchestrating multiple models, diagrams you haven't seen. For your diagram, I'd suggest something like concentric circles or layered. Okay. As for the list itself, the main chat interfaces your audience will encounter are ChatGPT, Claude AI, Gemini, Grok, Cowork. I haven't messed with Cowork because I don't have a Mac. Open Router, Perplexity. Okay. Let's think about this first. Should we talk about, I think we should talk, I almost think we should talk about environment types first. Like, I think we need to say environment. Okay, real quick. I think we need to say, when we're talking about the structure of our markdown file here, I think after models, I think we need to talk about environment types like briefly. Like I don't mean go into like localized AI and all this stuff, but I think we need to talk about the reality of the situation where like, okay, you know what models are. Like you have an idea of what the models can do. Like this is the engine. Now, how are you going to run these? Well, there's different ways you can run them. And we can talk about local maybe more later or whatever, because that's more complex. But like you need to understand that like when you go and you talk to these things that are upcoming, these chat interfaces that are upcoming, there's local ones that are on your machine, probably not dealing with that at first, but there's like cloud ones, or I don't know if there's a better name. I don't know if there's any more environment types. So if you think that's good, let's change that. Let's change the structure of the document a little bit there, and let me know if there's any more info I should add on that. I feel like that's probably fine. Yeah, where they actually run the why. Okay, so cloud, company server, local, So edge models running on device, but smaller versions. Apple Intelligence is an example. Some processes happening on your device. Some get sent to the cloud. That's yeah. I mean, he could. I mean, a lot of people have iPhones and they're about to get absolutely confused as shit with the Gemini situation. So that might be actually worth it to put in there. Let me read this though real quick. So like the model runs on your company's servers. You access it via the internet. No special hardware needed. Yeah, there's some things to consider though with this. Model runs on your own machine. You download the model yourself. Requires significant. Yeah. Okay. What does the talking point say? So you know the models are now where the ChatGPT, Claude. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess. All right, two things. Can you add a little bit of information to these, to either in the talking point or in like the cloud and local situation? Just add a little bit about like the reality of the situation. Like you're saying that it runs on company servers or whatever, but if I was talking about that, I would say that like it's not a huge risk, but like one of the things is like privacy, obviously. Like, you know, if it's localized, it's completely like private to your machine. Like that's just obviously inherently how it works. So I don't know how you could say that, but just make a small, you know, kind of call out to that um in those two situations. And the other thing is add in the hybrid and edge one, because that's actually going to become more important here, because you don't know this, but um Apple just partnered with Gemini. So that is going to be way more important actually here soon, because I suspect that they're going to do something like kind of unique there where they process certain shit on the device. But like I don't know how I don't know how that's going to work unless they literally use Gemini locally on a phone or something. I have no idea how it's going to work. But my point is like throw that in there. Throw that definition of hybrid and stuff in there. I think that's fine. That'll be an interesting situation. Okay. Once we're done there, our chat interface is about to get crazy here. Yeah. Perfect. Great. Yeah. Before we move on to chat interfaces, can you change all of our main, they're not headings right now, but like chat interfaces, environment types. Can you change all of those in this document to, um, I guess maybe an H1? Yeah, I don't know. Should know how to do that, right? What is it? Just a pound sign or something? Okay, that works. Yeah, cool. Yeah, do whatever you want to do, man. Make it an H2. I don't give a shit. Is it doing it? Oh, it does this slow. That's interesting. I don't know why. I don't know why it takes like literally each one of these is its own little thing, but I guess it's because it's its own little area. Cool. Takes a while to do that. I mean, it's not that long, but it's funny. Okay, cool. So what is our next thing here? We could queue up our prompt. All right, so chat interfaces. Where is this where most people encounter this? All right, so all right. I actually want this thing to put in that diagram for me somehow, just like the text, so I could like have that in there. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Perfect. Okay. Hey, remember that whole little diagram thing that I told you to do? About like when we started to get into chat interfaces. And can you put that in the document? Can you put that in like right, I don't know, either before chat interfaces or something, like just somewhere right there. I'm not exactly sure where, like before or after or whatever. Can you put that in there just as like a, like a visual, just like a visual illustration, just so I have that. I have it in the document just so for when I have to compact this fucking chat, but also because it's, again, like I'm kind of using this as like a pseudo script as well. Yeah. I want that in there. And then we need to start these. So Is there a ton of them? I mean, I have a ton down on my taskbar. I have ChatGPT, I have Claude, I have Gemini, I have Grok. Perplexity is one, technically. Oh, Jesus. What is that thing? Okay. The model, the interface, tools and plugins. I guess that looks fine for now. I mean, obviously, it's a cool little diagram it just made me there. Okay, love that. Love that for us. Okay. All right, let's move on to chat interfaces. Okay, yeah. So let's not I'm not going to say let's not hold back. Like I don't want to put every single like chat interface type thing on here because there's like a lot of different stuff going on here. But this is where we get into we obviously want to focus on the biggest ones, right? Which again, we have like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok. I'm cool with putting Perplexity in there, and you know, I think there's some other ones that we could potentially put in that people have heard of. This does get a little weird really fast though, because like we need to think about what we should try to explain in this section. These are again, we've talked about those types of things. We need to talk about like features that basically are in every single one of these instances now. Like so for instance, because now we're really when we talk about chat interfaces, we're talking about like basically apps, right? But I don't want to go super wide with this because I need to separate out the coding interfaces because that's kind of like a separate different thing. I don't know if that's what we should call that, but let's stick to chat interfaces for a second. Let's list some, okay? Give me some to list. And then we need to talk about some of the features that you find in chat interfaces that are not actually from the model level. Now, I don't know if that necessarily goes right here, but I think it's possibly good to talk about it. Like, again, like things like web search, I guess potentially like deep research, memory, I don't know. I guess system instructions or system prompts things, projects, right? Like all these little buzzwords that people like hear and they're like, "Oh, that's so cool that like that could do that." But it's totally a big like abstraction and it's just like a feature built in that somehow connects. Yeah. All right. You're right. Separate this out. This is where the diagram really pays off. Just all the stuff in the model. Yeah, I guess it is literally just that kind of too. And honestly, maybe I put it after. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it literally is that, I guess. Maybe we put it after. Maybe we just talk about chat. Maybe we just talk about chat interfaces. First party. Yeah, we definitely want first party. Oh shit, wait a second. Are you shitting me? I didn't know that about Perplexity. What the hell? Yo, okay, wait a second. Yeah, yeah, okay. Definitely put those first party ones in there. We want to focus on those for the chat interfaces. I didn't know Perplexity used other models. That's not I didn't know Perplexity doesn't use its own thing. That's amazing. Okay, well we definitely need to make a note of that. Yeah, so make a note of that and okay, make those edits there. And then let's take how this all fits together and let's move that under chat interfaces. Let's swap those in our structure because I think it'll make more sense to go through all this and then talk about chat interfaces and then kind of like bring it all together being like this is how the visual looks. I did not realize that about Perplexity and I don't know what Poe is. And there's a ton of other ones. There's probably there's Typing Mind, I think. I mean, that's like the easy thing, right? Like the easy thing is to make the third party thing. You could I'm assuming like anybody can make that. Is that what T3 chat is with Theo? Doesn't he just have like a bunch of different models that's like in a thing? I'm not saying it's easy, but it's probably easier than making your own LLM, training your own LLM on stuff. I don't actually know what that process is like, and probably not the point of this course. This might have to come packed, or it's broken. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, there we go. Cool. Lovely. Love it. All right. 93%. Cool. Maybe we should just compact now. All right. So let's see here. First party, ChatGPT, Claude AI. I don't know if it's really called Claude AI, but Gemini, Grok, DeepSeek Chat. Didn't know that was a thing. LeChat. Didn't know that was a thing either. Third party chat interfaces. I'm wondering if we missed any, because again, it doesn't have all the information. So I'm wondering if there's any. This is a problem. Yeah, I don't know if there's any web stuff. Let me compact this. Chat interfaces. Yeah, okay, cool. That's a good time to compact. So I'm just gonna go like this. I'm gonna say compact because then it's just gonna do that like probably in the middle of a thing, and then my number down here, my little context. Oh, I can just click that. I didn't realize that. Okay, thought I'd do the little thing there, a little slash command. Okay. So third-party chat interfaces use other companies' models. This is a big one. Yeah, not every AI builds its own model. I did not know Perplexity did that. Did it not tell me anything about that when I asked it? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Perplexity Poe Hugging Chat. I kind of wanted to search the web to double check on this because this could be different now. I don't know entirely. And also the third party chats, there's probably a ton of those that, and I haven't heard of some of those. I've probably heard of some other ones. So I kind of like it to be kind of like in line with what I know the most. Web search, browsing, internet, conversation history, system prompts, project folders, file uploads, image generation, voice mode. Yeah, okay. So all these things, how this all fits together. Coding interfaces. Yeah, we got to talk about that. Okay, dude, come on. How long does it take to compact? You're just summarizing. Summarize. Damn it. This is a good idea. I'm pretty happy about this. I'm learning. I'm putting together this document. I'm going to make a video on it or something. Okay. Compacted. Fantastic. It's weird how it like compacts this and then it doesn't get rid of this. Like it's still there. I mean, what are we doing? Okay. All right. I know you just compacted. I think and I hope that you still know what's going on. You can kind of see our whole course thing that we got going on here. You know, I'm gonna just trust that you still know what's going on because you can see this. Fuck. Let me drop that back in there. I accidentally clicked the up arrow and then I kind of fucked that up. All right, where is my whisper flow? Alt Shift Z. There we go. Okay. All right, so now we have, okay, the first thing I want you to do here, I'm skeptical that you have the right information based on your training cutoff for chat interfaces, specifically the first party and third party chat interfaces. I need you to go through like our companies and our models, and I need you to see if there's any newer first party chat interfaces that you don't have that we could continue to edit this chat interfaces section. And if there's any third party chat interfaces that are popular right now that you don't have on here, because I'm pretty sure there's probably some other ones that we haven't talked about that like I've probably heard of but can't think about and that you didn't write down here. It's actually kind of annoying that I have to do that. I mean, you know, I'm not expecting it to be like up to the minute, but I'm wondering if there's a way to I'm wondering if there's a way to I'm wondering if there's a way to make it kind of like automatically call out to get more information when needed. But I don't know. Now it's going to do like 15 web searches and it's going to take an hour. Claude. Maybe we should queue up another prompt and keep talking, right? I don't know what these are called. We got to see if these are called something specific. And then IDEs, I got to deal with like this anti-gravity situation. Don't understand how that is. It's not going to know anything about that either. So I'm going to have it search that. I wonder if I could ask Gemini while this is doing this. Hang on a second. Put in thinking. I don't know. Hey, is anti-gravity by Google, is that it's an IDE. It looks like it's a fork of VS Code, but is it also a coding interface like Claude Code? Or does it have or is anti-gravity just the IDE and Gemini is technically the coding interface? Or is it Ultra? Or what's the deal there? Anti-gravity might just be the IDE. AI first IDE to clear up. Anti-gravity is the name of the IDE itself, while Gemini 3 is the intelligence. Okay, so Gemini 3. Okay, so anti-gravity is the IDE. Gemini 3 is the intelligence. Yeah, it's by Google, obviously. Is it a fork? Technically, yes. Heavily modified. Okay, it looks exactly the same. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And anti-gravity versus Claude Code versus Gemini. So anti-gravity is the IDE. Ooh, interesting. I don't understand this yet. Like I'm using Claude Code, but I'm not using it in this. I'm using it in the fucking. It's not really the CLI. It's the command line interface. It's just kind of like a chat from what I see. Ultra was the older name for Google's top tier model. Okay, yeah, so this is a while ago. They got rid of that shit. Claude Code's sailing me up the river here with this. Anti-gravity is agent first. Instead of just asking for autocomplete selections like basic code pilot, you have a high level goal. Yeah, okay, we'll get that. Plan artifact. What is it though? Like cursor. Yeah, okay, we don't like cursor. I've never used cursor. Okay. I guess my main question is, okay, so anti-gravity is the IDE, right? I'm big on like analogies, like synonyms, right? So to speak, or like I don't know, another word for it. But so like VS Code is like anti-gravity. Anti-gravity is like cursor, right? Like you said. Gemini 3 is like Claude Opus 4.5, obviously. Yeah, Sonnet 3.5, GPT-4, got it. Yeah. What in Claude Code is the interface? So are you telling me, I mean, Claude Code has a desktop app now and like whatever, but you're telling me that Google doesn't have a CLI necessarily, like anti-gravity is the ID and the interface for the agentic coding situation? There's not like another thing? Man, that's annoying. So it is really, I mean, oh, Gemini CLI. So just nobody calls it that. Anti-gravity, the brand is the GUI. Okay. Okay, so anti-gravity, yeah, no standalone ID cursor. I don't know what the hell that is. Terminal agent. Okay, so Claude Code is like the CLI terminal agent, and Gemini CLI is the. Okay. All right, good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, good to know. Good to know. All right, perfect. Fuck. Okay. Damn it. I was hoping that it would just do the rest. Okay, that's really good to know, though. I don't really want to touch this right now, but I'm sure it would be fine if I did. But the point is then, these are CLIs. Yeah. Command line, the terminal agent, CLI. Yeah. Actually, I want to bring this back over while this is dicking around doing this. The reason anti-gravity feels like the big one from Google is that it combines everything. An anti-gravity terminal is the agentic agent. If you type a command, I mean, it says it's like that, but it's not really your own terminal like Claude Code. You should look for GL. Okay, yeah, it's fucking open it, dude. Oh my god, dude, just do them all. Fuck. While we're waiting, so we have like this is just it, right? I mean, it looks exactly the same, and I mean, like I guess this is the agent, right? The terminal agent. And oh shit, I didn't realize you could do this right in here too. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess everybody can just go in here and do this. Like you don't need to be in VS Code, right? But I don't know. I might start playing around with anti-gravity because it's literally the same thing, right? If you go here, if you go right here, I don't know how I'm gonna have to log into this. Teast. Oh, maybe I haven't opened this since they did that whole shit where you're not allowed to do that in here. I don't know. It's installing an update. Claude Code, please, just finish. Okay. Meta AI Quen chat. Okay. Oh Jesus. Okay. Ton of these. Haven't talked about Brave at all, but I'm not worried about it right now. What does this say? This is a little thing here. First party interfaces. I want to add. Yeah, sure. I don't know about Meta AI though. I haven't actually played with that. Doc, I don't know what the hell half this shit is. Typing Mind is definitely one of them. Merlin, I've definitely heard of that. Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. Okay. Add them, dude. Add them. This is great. Is this thing updated? Restart the update. I wonder if that's not going to work anymore. It literally said Visual Studio Code right there. That's hilarious. That's actually hilarious. That's literally hilarious. I'm so glad I caught that. Real quick. I know we're context switching. It still says it right here. Do I need to I definitely need to auth into this, right? I don't think I. Okay, that's really confusing and I don't understand how that's working. I'm not going to come back. I'm going to come back to that at some different point. Okay. All right. So where are we? Okay, we're in here. Oh, Jesus. Fuck. Okay, wait. Yeah, okay, we're good. Okay. So these are our first parties. These are our third parties. This obviously isn't an exhaustive list. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Make a note for the talking point of the third parties. Obviously, that's not an exhaustive list. Yeah. Okay. So this is not an exhaustive list, but this is the situation is like these are all a lot of our things up there. Could probably even make that into one bigger table, you know, to be completely honest, because they only have well, I mean, they technically don't only have one. I don't know what cowork is. I wouldn't really call that a chat interface though. From what I know. I don't know. Where did that go, by the way? Did I put that in there? Oh. Hey, let's talk about Claude Cowork really quick. I don't know how much you know about that. I mean, I guess you probably do know about it because you brought it up earlier, which I don't understand. But is that technically a chat interface? We're going to talk about CLIs in a second, but is Cowork technically chat interface? Like, or is it kind of its own product category? I don't really know what the hell it is. It's probably kind of that, but yeah, you did, and it was in the shit before, but yeah, it doesn't know that it didn't bring it up because it doesn't have the context from there earlier. But I do. It's definitely in here somewhere. It's right here, isn't it? Where the hell are you? It's right around here somewhere that I can't see. I don't know. I don't give a shit. Okay. So now my training cutoff. Yeah, obviously no shit. Your question, it's not really a chat interface, it's an agentic tool. Chat interface, you send a message, co-work, you give access, Claude. So it's built on a foundation, Claude Code. So for course structure, co-work would actually fit better alongside Claude Code. Okay, let's not worry about that then. Okay. All right, let's not worry about that right now. Okay, so this is going to get this is going to get more complex now, right? Okay, so we have our chat interfaces, we have how it all fits together, right? Now, most people would probably end up stopping right here. I mean, that's all you would really need if you were, if you were like really just trying to understand like the basic consumer version and you actually cared, like if you were like a prosumer, guess you could get to that point. But now that everything burst as soon as we got to this next thing, right? Like this is where the world really started to change. Like ChatGPT and all those started popping off and everything. This is where it got crazy, right? Now, this is where I don't know how much you understand about this section because I can't remember when this all happened, but you do know enough about like Claude Code, it sounds like, and now you know a little bit about Codex, and you know about I don't know if you know about Google anti-gravity. You probably don't know about that, but there's this concept now, right, where this is where Claude Code entered the scene. Like you had models and you had chat interfaces, and people could go into chat interfaces and say like, hey, I want to create write me the code for a game of chess or something or whatever, and then it would write me the code for a website, right? And then it would generate all the code, and you'd have to copy it out and paste it into somewhere else and do whatever. And now we have actual CLI, I think is what they're called. I have it saying coding interfaces here, but I think really what they are is like their terminal agents or their CLI, like their CLIs or something. You need to tell me what the actual word is for that, what the actual like category name is, and then we need to list out and kind of explain what this next phase of this is. Okay. Coding agents or AI coding agents. I mean, I guess. You run them in terminal, but it's too generic. Git is a CLI too. It doesn't capture what makes these things special. Coding interfaces we have now is too vague. Terminal agents is closer but too narrow. Some of these run inside IDEs, not just terminal. Yeah, okay. Fucking Gemini, piece of shit. All right, so it's going to go do me some research. AI coding agents captures the distinction. These are tools, just when you ask. They can read your project, manage. Okay. I mean, I'll take agents. I don't know. I don't care. Going from copy and paste. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's let it do the research. I'll go with AI coding agents, I guess. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. There's no real reason to say AI. I mean, it's, the whole fucking thing's AI. We could say AI chat interfaces. We could say AI models. Like, you don't need to say that, but yeah. Big companies. Oh, this is the preview. I don't know. I was just thinking about some cleanup on some of those things, but that's probably fine. Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense to go coding interfaces next and then IDEs, because you'd say, okay, we had all this. Now we have like this whole thing where there's now coding agents. And I'm assuming Claude Code came out, and I can't remember exactly, but I'm assuming it came out first on just like as an extension. Yeah, I don't think the desktop app necessarily was a thing at the time. I don't think you could You know, I don't think that was first. And then I don't know what we're going to do with this Claude Code situation. It's an agentic tool. Yeah. Just kind of like an AI agent. There's a lot of research to be done here. Wow, an hour and a half, solid. Yeah. Is there anything else I can think about while I'm doing this? IDEs, terminal apps, database tools, static hosting. Not really. I mean, I don't know. IDEs are definitely going to be just, I mean, the only thing I have on my taskbar right now is VS Code, obviously, and then anti-gravity. I kind of want to put browsers in here. I can't use Atlas still. I don't think Atlas is available for me yet on PC. So that's a problem. Dude, how many of these things is it doing? It's interesting. It doesn't show you. It had me click like eight things, and I don't see. Oh, fuck. Oh, look at this. It's a gold mine. All right, fuck it. Let's go. All right, the category can be named AI coding agents. Okay, cool. CLI agents running your terminal. AI native IDs. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Cloud agents. I don't know what the fuck Devin is. Interesting. Okay. No, I definitely don't want to. I'm definitely not going to. I'm definitely going to add this shit because this is all things like you're saying stuff here that I've either heard of or used. So I'm definitely going to add it. What I might do is maybe like I could easily see a clean break right before this for like a part 1 and a part 2, or like a beginner and an intermediate if I really wanted to do something like that. But like we're not going to stop right here like from our research, because this is really important. This is like where all the buzz is. But like a lot of lay people are going to benefit from all that first stuff. So if they want to stop here, they could, but it's probably just gonna be one big video or like a couple of videos of something or something like that. So no, this is really important. Yeah. Now you're telling me something interesting here though. We need to change it to AI coding agents. I'm with you there. I guess CL I don't see like it is AI coding agents, but like again, if we keep our thing, like if we keep our the way in which we've been doing these things, like our cadence, it's really again, it's Claude Code, Codex CLI, and Gemini CLI, right? Like there's no other ones. Like Cursor doesn't exist without these other things, right? Like the engines, right, are still the models that the companies have, and then the CLI agents are the only reason that we can vibe code, right? Or am I wrong? This is incredible. Yeah. Model. Yeah, I'm struggling to think about the architecture here of the section, you know, or maybe multiple sections or what have you, because like as you can see in here, I have coding interfaces, which we're going to change that name obviously, but I have that, I have IDEs, and then I also have terminal apps, which are kind of like on the edge of this, right? I don't know. Yeah, mess with it. See what you can do here. Kind of like give me a starting point, and we can edit it. I don't know. I don't know how to do this. I mean, that's not bad what it has there, but I don't like the idea of just saying like AI native IDEs because that's silly. Like people are going to say like VS Code or I mean, obviously a lot of people say Cursor and Windsurf, but yeah, I don't know. That's just hilarious though. I can't believe they didn't call it Claude CLI. Huh. I mean, I guess because they were the first ones, they were just like, fuck it, we're doing it. That's amazing. I still don't fully understand it. And I'm also not sure why. Are there any other CLI agents? Because I mean, seriously, if that's the case, that's nuts. Like you can literally only vibe code with 3 tools, and everybody's talking about them. Oh Jesus Christ, what did we do here? All right, this everything's exploded. Vibe coding. Okay, first party CLI agents built by the model companies. All right, so first question, just so I understand. Are there any other first party CLI agents, or is that it? The developer tool chain. What did it say? These are the main ones. The only other one is Kiro from AWS. It's CLI tool focused on spec-driven development. Turns out, but Amazon isn't on our company's list. Is that even same boat as Amazon? Distributor, not a model. Interesting. Is Kiro or Cairo or whatever from Amazon there? Is that even public? Like, can you even use that? And it's obviously not its own models, right? Yeah, it doesn't have its own. Fuck Amazon. It doesn't have its own models. Okay, so yeah, okay, so those are first party AI native IDEs. All right. So Cursor. First of all, I'm so perplexed about the perplexity thing because like I didn't realize that it wasn't its own thing. I don't know why I didn't realize that. Can you go in there and change the model that you're using? Because that seems like the biggest third party chat. It's crazy. Whatever. So Cursor, Windsurf, and Anti-Gravity. So those are the big ones. Windsurf was like, I feel like, I don't know if Windsurf was the first one, but it was like one of them. Google Anti-Gravity is the IDE. Gemini CLI is the thing. IDE extensions, agent add-ons for existing editors. So Google Copilot, Klein, and Gemini Code Assist. I think that section needs work. Okay, the IDE extensions one, I feel like definitely needs work because I know, so this is tough because like now we're just getting in the weeds on some of this because there's like you can do a lot through the terminal, right? Like CLI type situation. But like literally this very moment, I am literally using the Claude Code IDE extension in VS Code. So I know we don't necessarily want to double up information. However, I think if we're being thorough here, like you can use, we might actually need to add a section, but let's not worry about that right now. The IDE extensions is definitely like kind of wrong. Like in my VS Code right now, I have like Claude Code installed as an extension and I have Codex installed as an extension. Now I know I could use them in the terminal, but I'm just not currently using that workflow. So I would like us to reflect that in the IDE extension situation. Yeah. There's Klein and there's, yeah, I mean, GitHub Copilot. I haven't fucked with that at all. So, okay. Cloud agents. No idea what the hell that is. The first AI software engineer, fully autonomous cloud with access to a terminal code sandbox environment. You assign it tasks on GitHub or Slack. I don't know. This is nuts. What models do these use? Oh shit. I don't know what I just did there. Oh no. Oh no. What did I just do? What did I do? There's a refresh button somewhere. I have literally no idea what I did. What is it? Control-Shift-V? Okay. Literally no idea what I did there, but I think we are good. Copilot, Klein. Yeah, okay, we're talking about this. Cool. All right, whatever. That's fine. All right. No idea what the cloud agent is. What do you know about Devin? I've never heard of that cloud agent thing. Developer toolchain, code editors, VS Code, JetBrains, IDs. Never heard of that. Well, I guess that's terminal apps. Okay. It got a lot of hype. Branded the first AI engineer. You sit there directly working and work. Devin, you have hands off, walk away. I don't know. Maybe I'll delete that at some point. Doesn't really matter. Okay, one quick thing though. I kind of want to talk about, as I get into this, I kind of want to talk about like the different ways that you can deal with these. Okay, real quick. We need to add at least a talking point, but probably a section, kind of like like in the AI coding agents bigger section, but above like the first party CLI agents, because I don't know, maybe after. The problem is like we need to explain how you can use these things. Like at least most of them, right? Like you can use them in the terminal, right? Like in CLI. You could use them in like a terminal or a terminal like app type thing, like some sort of like advanced terminal situation, right? Something that wraps the terminal. You can use them in an IDE, and some of them you can use them in like the desktop app, right? Like Claude Code. I know the Claude desktop app has Claude Code there. I don't really think you can do that in Gemini, and I don't know if Codex has like a desktop app, but we need to make that distinction somewhere in there. So fill me in on the information there real quick. I don't know where that would make sense to put that. Yeah, I'm thinking either here or like here or something. And now it's searching the web. Yeah, do whatever you need to do. Go ahead. Fuck it. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Okay, it's searching a bunch of shit now. We're going to wait. We're going to wait again. Right. Anything else here? Okay. Yeah, go ahead, dude. Keep fucking searching. Developer toolchain. Now we're shifting gears. Everything about AI specifically. I don't really like the idea of toolchain. I mean, I kind of just like, we don't need to go super deep into that. I just kind of wanted to, think about like where else you could use this stuff. So like, I don't know. I'm gonna probably start using anti-gravity more, but VS Code is like, you know, you need to say that somewhere, and maybe that's kind of the section that we're building here, where it's like that is, I don't know, that is, you know, kind of just the way you can do. That's one of the ways you can do it, but CL is VS Code extension, possibly desktop app. Okay, yeah, it's not going to know about some of this shit. I don't think you can use. You know, I didn't say anything about Google AI Studio in here either. But All right. CLI, terminal, VS Code extension, JetBrains extension, desktop app, web interface, codex is close. Oh, you piece of shit. Yeah. All right, let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. Okay, so how you access them. That doesn't make sense. VS Code extension, desktop app, web interface. Yeah, it probably makes sense to swap those. Yeah, you know what? Take the talking point of how you access them plus the table and push that underneath the first party coding agents section. Just swap those because it probably makes sense to kind of introduce them and then say that. Hopefully it does that right. I think it should. Just take this shit, put it here. Don't know if it's going to try to make it a section though. And we're also getting close to our compact time. Shit, what happened to that? Did I do it right? Oh. It just took a second. It's all good. Okay, perfect. So now we have like vibe coding here at the front. Vibe coding is directory. Okay, yeah, CLI. So first party built by the models. This is a hell of a course, buddy. Holy shit. Hell of a bit of information here. Claude Code, Codex, and Gemini CLI. Taking what you know. Okay, cool. Agents. Okay, so then yes, companion extension. Not really sure what the fuck that means. I'm not sure what a companion extension is, but I could literally look at it probably right here. Google Gemini. This is probably it. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what that is. I don't want it. If I was going to do that, I would just go over into I would just go into anti-gravity probably, but okay. So CLI, no desktop app, no official web interface. See, I don't know if that actually works, but I don't think you can actually do it like that, but whatever. Okay. All right, so we're close here. So we got that. That's good enough. Cursor, windsurf, anti-gravity. Are there any other ones? Claude Code, Codex, Gemini Code Assist. Yeah. Okay, so like that's kind of like a wrap up of these. Like that's that where the hell did that thing go? What happened? Did I lose it? Do I need refresh? There is a refresh button. I don't know where the refresh button is. I know I've seen a refresh. Say refresh. There we go. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. Third party extensions, first party extensions, cloud. Okay. All right. Okay. Perfect. Do we think we're missing anything? Not really. Not that I could super think of. None of this stuff is AI shit down here. This is just kind of like what to do next. You know what I mean? It's almost like this is consumer. Not even really, this is not obviously consumer, but this is like one, this is like part one to here. And then AI coding agents is kind of like the next the next thing. And then this stuff does kind of belong in here, but it kind of also doesn't really matter. But I'm just wondering, like, what's the next thing I should do here? Let's just ask the AI. Okay, so I think we're like pretty good here. I'm kind of having trouble as we get towards the end of this, where like we talk about the developer tool chain. Like I kind of think it's important to talk about a little bit of this because I know I was like confused on how it all worked, and we kind of talk about it in the thing. You know what I mean? We kind of talk about like, I don't know. We say like AI native IDEs. VS Code obviously is not, but it does kind of like slightly fit in there. But then you also have the terminal apps, which everybody like, is all about now, right? You have your desktop apps or whatever that, have the interfaces in them potentially, right? Like maybe like Claude Code has a desktop app, for instance, right? It has a part of it. Nobody really does too much there, I don't think. But then everybody either uses like Cursor as the IDE, whatever, or they use the terminal like within like the IDE, or they just use a terminal. And then everybody has like their favorite stack almost, or their favorite tool set, their favorite way of working with it. So I kind of do think we need to go a little deeper on, I don't know how we organize it, but I think we need to go a little bit deeper on the IDE options and the terminal options. Just because, it'll kind of, again, I'm thinking to lessen confusion, we need to almost grab like the most popular things in those categories and list them so people know what the hell they are when, like, and they can mentally compartmentalize them. Go out and find some shit for me. I know there's Warp. I know there's Ghosty. I know there's VS Code. I don't know anything else. Is there... This is so great. Just do my bidding. Do my bidding. Oh. Oh my God, 99% used. That's not good. Shit. Should have done that first. You know what I just fucking thought of? What the fuck am I doing? Wait a second. Can't I just click this button right here and have another instance going? Oh shit. Can you see the start.md file? Yo. This is what all the cool kids do, and I haven't been doing it. What the fuck? Now I probably shouldn't edit at the same time, but I could like research a little bit more over here. It's pretty sick. Stub sections. So yeah, so like down, we're kind of editing this in parallel here. We don't need to edit anything right now, but for static hosting and database tools, like once we get pretty deep into the AI situation, there's like tools that like people say all the time and people don't know how to compartmentalize them, right? So let's talk about database tools. Like there's Supabase. Can you do some research for me to find out like what the other big like database vibe coding tools are? I don't know if that's gonna heed a good response there, but I actually haven't. Oh Jesus Christ, what happened? I haven't actually used I didn't really need all those, I don't think. VS Code. All right, so here's where I expanded. Zed, Sublime, Vim. Are those all like? I mean, they need to be like IDEs that have AI capability. They all have that, right? Warp, the most AI forward terminal. Built-in AI agents. Didn't know that. Ghosty, Kitty. Yeah, I don't know. Built-in / platform defaults. Yeah, terminal, iTerminal, Windows Terminal. Okay. Well, I mean, that's in the right direction. We'll move that around. This is nuts. I've never done this before. I've never done two instances at the same time. Keyframing for our course is backend. Okay. Supabase, Firebase, Neon, Pocketbase, AppWrite. That's a lot. We really don't need to go into depth here. I'm just trying to like literally think about the words that I've heard and think I'm relatively deep here, even though I don't feel like I'm that deep because I'm in a bubble and I feel like I'm one of the least knowing people, but I obviously know what the fuck I'm talking about to some degree here. Yeah, can you update the document to add those into the database section? Now I got this one fucking working on this. This one working on it. Unless this is a terrible idea. We might learn together this is a terrible idea. I have no idea. And then we need to work on static hosting. I put them all in there. Whatever. I'd rather have more stuff than I can delete some shit. Actually, let's do this. Actually, let's compact our one. Okay. Okay, so static hosting. Let's talk about that. I've done some vibe coding with all of the, like basically if you run yourself up the chain of this document, right, you can tell that like how we've gotten here, right? So you understand what the companies are, the models, modalities, the chat interfaces, the AI agent interfaces, the AI coding, CLI stuff. We talked about database tools, like you start building stuff out, with databases, and obviously there's a ton of technical, stuff in the middle there too, like, just like frameworks and all that sort of shit. Let's forget about that for a second. If you actually were to go tell one of these tools to vibe code something for you, at some point you're going to need to put some pieces together. At some point it's going to tell you to be dealing with like databases. It's going to be telling you to deal with all this other shit if you get to that point. At some point you're going to have to host it somewhere. Now, obviously there's like apps that people are building. There's all sorts of shit. I have run into, like, I've been building some things with like Astro and like static type sites like that. And I've been trying to deploy them to different places. I've deployed to Vercel, Netlify, Cloudflare, Pages, etc., whatever, right? So I want a section of this that kind of describes just, again, the high level, as you can see, like, the way that this is. Like, at some point, you're going to need to deploy your shit. If it's a static thing, then you can deploy it in these places. So go out and, let me know, do some research, whatever you think on some of the other popular places. I think the only other big one that I know of that I haven't used is like GitHub Pages. So there's probably a few other ones, but obviously it depends too potentially on like what you're hosting. So we don't need to get super crazy, but you're going to need to find somewhere to host that thing. And it's either going to be static or it's going to be, like I hosted something on Render. I hosted, some Python stuff on Streamlit. These are just the things that I've used. But again, I'm looking for like the most common shit that people are hearing and they don't know what the fuck it is. But now if I can give them a way to compartmentalize stuff, then that helps them. So yeah, let's talk about like kind of the hosting of these different apps and things. I guess you could also put Google Cloud on there as well, maybe. I don't want to talk about this right now, but we're going to talk about Google AI Studio at some point too. Totally forgot about that until kind of right now. I don't know how I'm going to talk about that. I don't know where that's going to go. It's going to need to do probably some research on that. So, yeah, file types probably doesn't need to go in there. It's a little ridiculous, but this is pretty good. I mean, I have not heard of many of these database tools. I'm going to throw something in the other one here real quick. Can't believe I didn't think about these multiple instances when I was waiting for the other shit to search. This one is, why is this one so much faster? Is it because there's less context in the box? But I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. Hosting and deployment. Yeah. Okay. Railway, Fly, Streamlit Cloud Community. Yeah, cool. Yeah, go ahead and can you add those? You can change that section however you need to. Yeah, I've heard of Railway. I tried Render for something once. I've used Vercel, Netlify, Cloudflare pages. Have not used GitHub pages. Fuck. I don't really want to talk about like Replit or Lovable, like to be completely honest, but I should probably put them in there as like honorable mentions, or like not honorable mentions, but like they do have a piece in there, you know, like people are talking about them. But they're like vibe coding platforms. They're just wrappers. So we're going to have to think about that next here. That'll work. Is there a better name for database tools? Change it, please. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm getting pretty close to like feeling pretty good about this. I don't love exactly this developer toolchain thing, so I kind of want to fix that, and I want to do Google AI Studio, Lovable, possibly Bolt and Replit, just because those are like big ones. So let me do this developer thing first. Oops. Okay. So I think we're pretty good here. The developer toolchain, I'm just not really loving that whole situation there. I don't really know. I don't know if it makes sense to go there. It almost feels like we should put that somewhere else, but maybe not. Fuck that. Let's just leave that there. Let's talk about the other thing. The other thing is more important. Okay, so really good here. I have like kind of like a couple other things that I hear about all the time and I've messed with, and I do not know where they go in this document. Okay, I hope you can understand the kind of the flow that we're trying to achieve here, and like the logical, like, you know, layout and everything. And I'm hoping that we could find a good spot for these couple things. So if you have to do research on what these are, go ahead and do them, but I'm going to tell you what they are. And then I want you to also find, if you do research, potentially find some like other similar things. So Google AI Studio, what that is to me is it's effectively a website that you go to, and it has like a playground in there where you can test new like Google models. But the bigger thing is there's like a build section where it's basically you know, a vibe coding tool. it's like a Replit or a Lovable or like a kind of like a Claude Code. It's very limited though. It seems like you can only build like React apps pretty much, like, TypeScript and shit. So I I don't know where to place that, so to speak, but it is something that, like, is somewhat noteworthy. It's I don't know, it's either free or extremely inexpensive too. So, like, we need to put that somewhere in there. And then also we need to put in, again, like, I would never use these and I totally skipped this step, but um what's it called? We need to put in Replit and Lovable. Lovable for certain, Replit I would say as well. I don't know if Bolt really necessarily needs to go in there, but those were the tools that took they were the first to the party. Like, they were before the CLI agents, I feel like. They just wrapped models and made it and tuned the shit to, like, do good UIs and whatever. So, I don't know where that goes in this timeline because people still use them, but I just don't understand why you would use them for very much longer. And I really don't want to go like very deep into that realm either, because like you could just like we could talk for literal years about all the stupid fucking AI wrappers that exist out there. Um, but that is a reality that I think we need to note just some of those because people have definitely heard of them. Yeah, we could literally talk for years about that. Yeah, good. I don't know why it said Firebase, but whatever. This is pretty impressive. I don't think these file types need to be down here. I'm trying to think of like anything else. I'm going to have to ask the AI if there's anything else I should talk about. See what it says. App builders. Yeah, Studio. This version of Global Cloud describes the app builders or app builders. No setup required. That includes. Yeah. This one's even giving me sources on all this. I don't even. This one give me any sources? Give me shit. CLI agents. Where are we at here? Gonna come here. I wonder if that's technically an AI coding agent. Yeah, I guess it probably is. Now we're getting to basically look like fully like Wikipedia. It's pretty funny. This one wasn't really like. That wasn't really like. This one was newer though, but yeah, I forgot about VO. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's pretty decent for that. Can you get rid of the file types section at the very end? Just delete it. I'm gonna ask it if it how it just thinks about this. Okay, I'm looking at this and I'm trying to rack my brain on all of the things that I've seen in the AI space as I've been going through it. And I feel like this is a really good crash course for somebody that, just wants, maybe it's separate things, but it'll probably just all be one. But it does a few things, which is what what I wanted this to do. It helps me understand and compartmentalize and understand things. So I learned a little bit more from this, and I now understand like kind of how the pieces work together even more. Obviously, the world in this industry is like infinite, so we didn't talk about everything here. We didn't talk about local AI. We could definitely talk about that. So maybe we think about that for a second. But do you see, aside from local stuff, because I would say that's literally, for most people, that's probably, I don't know. You never know how people are going to go, but that's probably the last thing people care about in this whole situation here. Do you think there's anything that's like missing from here, from a, I don't want to call it like a crash course perspective, but kind of from that perspective? Do you think we're missing? Is there anything that I'm completely just mind blanking on and completely missing from this layout and this structure? Let's cover well the core pipeline, APIs and API keys. This is single biggest concept. Pricing and how you pay. Holy fuck. Okay. I asked it to do something. It's obviously going to do it. It's not going to tell me no. API keys, pricing and how you pay, GitHub and version control, open weight versus closed models. Open weight versus closed models. Is that literally? Oh, that's literally what that means. Oh, does open weight? Interesting. I keep calling it a course. I mean, I guess it's a course. Gonna be honest, I'm kind of getting a little tired. I've been doing this for 2 hours. Hardcore. I don't know. I mean, I could just tell it to just throw all that shit in there. Go right after section. The API keys like kind of does make sense. I mean, like it like with this stuff, it does make sense here. I just don't want to. I don't know. I don't know how deep to go with this. Pricing and how you pay. People are confused about subscriptions versus API. I'm literally tempted to just ask it to add all of it, but I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think we could definitely add the APIs one. The pricing and how you pay. I mean, I'm just not sure where that goes. It's not a terrible idea. But I don't know exactly where that would go. The GitHub and version control stuff. Yeah, you know what? I actually want you to do that because that was a hurdle for me, like just to understand that. I think that it definitely goes before hosting. I don't know if it goes before database backend services or after it, but that goes somewhere wherever you think. And then open weight and closed models. I mean, I guess that's kind of on our slightly to our local AI situation to a degree. I mean, not entirely. Yeah, I don't know. Talk to me. I'm losing power. But this is good. I'm glad I did this. I don't like that. I don't like the placement of the API one. It says after chat interfaces, before coding agents. I mean, yeah, you'd need that in these, but you don't need an API key to like. You actually don't need an API key for most of that. It might not even understand that right now. I'm good with most of this, but I'm not good with the placement of the API thing because like I don't think it makes sense there because you can technically use Claude Code without really knowing too much about API keys. Like, yeah, if you're actually building something for sure, but like I think it probably I think it might actually belong in more of the developer tool chain because like that's like if you get to that point, you're probably going to need to know about that more. I don't know. That's my thoughts. I don't know. See if we can add these. Code lives, how you talk to the code, other services where you write the code. I mean, this is quickly getting out of hand, but it's quickly getting out of hand, but it's pretty solid, I would say. Definitely pretty solid. How many lines of text is this? Nice. Nice. All right, almost done here. So where did that put us here? Where are you? API keys. So Git and GitHub, API keys, editors. Don't really like that. I don't like that because that's not how you would encounter that. Yeah, I don't really like the section outline, to be completely honest with you, in the developer tool chain, because if I'm thinking about this, I'm not going to encounter GitHub before I encounter a code editor or a terminal app. So I think it goes code editors and then terminal apps because those are sort of one and the same in a way. Not really, but like, you're most of the time you're going to be like interfacing with your code and stuff like that. Then you're going to like at some point you're going to realize if you're kind of a newer person, you're going to realize, okay, wait, I need to put this shit somewhere. And there are ways to just drop shit onto the internet now, like with Netlify drop, but we don't need to talk about that really. You would go GitHub next because maybe not. Maybe you go. You would go code editors and IDEs. Then you would go and terminal apps, and then you would go APIs, and then you would go GitHub. In my thought process. And I don't really like the developer tool chain anymore because like that's kind of fucking stupid. And now I'm a little messed up with the whole developer tool chain. I don't really know if that's like the right heading level. Like I don't really know if that it kind of gets confusing now because we have so much shit underneath it. Do you think there's like a better way to structure that? I don't know about it. Yeah, whatever. I wonder if it's going to do it the way that I told it to, though. I don't know. I don't know. Does this thing have like a built-in table of contents? This is getting obnoxious. Code editors, IDs, terminal apps. Okay. Then, oh, it's still doing shit. Okay, where'd it go? Developer toolchain, terminal apps, API keys. It's kind of just shit. Then GitHub. Database backend services, hosting and deployment. Maybe database and backend services should be in the developer toolchain. And then we call it done for now. What do you think about bringing database and backend services into the developer toolchain underneath like the last thing in that section? Because I feel like if you were thinking about this, you would get into an IDE, you would start messing around. Maybe you're playing with a terminal. Obviously, you should probably understand that. And then you would go and you would think, okay, well, the next thing you'd probably actually do is like frameworks and all sorts of shit. And if you have an idea to make a concise section about like, you know, coding languages and do that. Okay, do that. Make a simple, concise section about like the main coding languages and the main like frameworks that are being used right now, just like the top like kind of popular ones that everybody is building with and shit. Just so like there's like, you know, literally like an idea when, because again, you hear a lot of people say like shit like that, like React and all this other bullshit. Throw that in there, and then underneath that, all within the developer toolchain, that's where we'd put the back end services thing, because I feel like those are the things that you do. You'd think about your ID and your whatever. You'd start coding somewhere. You'd have to think about your architecture. You'd have to think about your frameworks and shit and your new language. Then you'd have to eventually, probably depending on your project, hook up to a database. The API key thing is like kind of separate. The GitHub thing is kind of separate. I don't know. I'm not sold on that entirely still, but just go with that. I think maybe GitHub. I actually think GitHub should be in the developer toolchain now. Now that I think about it, I mean, fuck, they should all be in there. Really, I don't know, but I don't know. I just want to think. I don't really care how the heading hierarchy is right now. I just kind of want to think about I just want to make sure that like it makes sense from a pragmatic thinking standpoint, almost like. This is impressive. Okay. Do your thing, Claude. I trust you, man. See what's going on here, buddy. Where are we at? 220? Nice. I trust you, bud. I could be doing something in the other one, but let's just wait. It's not exactly what I wanted to see there. What are we grepping? Frameworks. Okay, I see. Database, backend services. Okay, cool. It's a little out of order, I think, but I might be calling it here for the most part. Yeah, this is definitely solid. Okay, I don't like that it just puts those together necessarily, but gotta compact. What the fuck? Hey, in this file, get up to date because I kind of changed. I added a lot of things in a different Claude instance, but if you go to the languages and frameworks section, where the languages are, it's not meant to be an exhaustive list or anything, but it's like, just kind of the top, like some of the top languages that you're going to see, like when you're dealing with, some coding stuff like this. Make it definitely separate HTML and CSS. I don't like that those are the same, kind of like language. So make those different entries. And kind of, if you could do it like top to bottom from like most basic to more complicated, like I think HTML, CSS, JavaScript, like I think those are the fundamentals of the web, right? So then you have, I guess, TypeScript. You could say Python. I don't know if there's any other like languages, like specifically. I'm sure there's a million other fucking languages, but like any other like popular ones you could throw in there. And then I guess the frameworks are fine. Yeah, I don't know. There's another fucking thing too that I should put in there where it's like it's like what is it? It's not frameworks, it's something else that I heard about like and messed around with the one time. Interesting. Is there something else? There's like languages, there's frameworks. Is there something else? It's not like React. I don't know what it is. I can't remember what it's called. It's like, is Next, it's not Next, or is it Next.js? It's like, it's not a framework. It's something else. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's something. Oh, Node. That's fucking it. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, look, I really don't want to go this deep into this, but like, I mean, I still do think that's kind of like, fuck. I do think that like that is somewhat important, but I really don't want to make this into a coding thing. Just because I know I had problems like when I'm trying to build stuff and then you have like Node.js, like there's some people say shit like that and then they say like they're bundlers like Vite. Like when you actually go to deploy shit, that some of that stuff matters, right? I don't know if we can add any of that, if it makes sense to add any of that, because I don't want to go super deep, but like, what do we think? Yeah, do it. Cool. This is pretty intense. Still think Git and GitHub should be in that section. And it should probably be before database and backend services. Take GitHub and Git, take that section and put it within the developer toolchain, put it before the backend services. What did that end up looking like? Other tools you'll see. Yeah, whatever. Good enough, man. You know what I mean? I gotta call this after this one. I didn't even get to the local. Shit. Done. Nah, I gotta do something with local, but developer toolchain, cool. Terminal, language and frameworks, languages, Git and GitHub, backend services, API keys, kind of just chilling out there for no reason. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of like when you're really going to encounter that. Could be even earlier, obviously. I don't know. That one's kind of just like hanging out there. It's kind of, whatever. Let's hang on a second. All right, had to pause to say good night to my wife, but we are back and we're going to crush the end of this here. Hopefully be done by the 3-hour mark. Okay. All I really want to do here is just talk about this local AI real quick, which is probably also a nightmare, but I'm not going to talk too much about it. So here we go. Okay. Somewhere in here, we need to talk about local AI. And I'm not really sure where to put that now that I think about it. I don't know if it should go before the developer stuff. Part of me thinks maybe it should. Let me look at it. I don't know. Let me just tell you a little bit about my experience. Like it's a whole new world, right? And you have LM Studio, and then LM Studio is kind of like, I mean, to me, it's kind of like a chat interface, right? So it's like a typing mind, or it's like whatever these other things are, where you can it's local on your computer. You can download models, whatever models are available, I guess, open weight, I guess, if that's the right term. And then you can utilize it on there, and you can just, now, again, the big problem with local AI, and we have to make it clear, is like, you're running it on your computer. It's fully like private, so to speak, and everything, but it's, I have an 8 gigabyte RTX Super 2080 in my computer, and that's, 8 gigabytes of VRAM is almost like kind of seems like the minimum from the the information that I saw. So that's something to consider. But then there's also obviously the other modalities of, image generation or whatever that you could do. And my experience was LM Studio, Stability Matrix, Focus, or however the hell you say that. And then I think those are all interfaces, I guess. But then there's also, you can download, obviously you need to get models for them, whether they're image gen models or text models or whatever. And then I don't know how deeply we go into the rest of the stuff. This is pretty niche at this point, obviously. So I just want to make people aware of it at a high level with some of these things, but we don't need to go super deep. So whatever you're thinking. Let's see what we get here, boys. I mean, I think in some ways, like, all of this shit is kind of downstream from this stuff, like, right? Because you know, you would, the trouble is like AI coding agents, right? It's like, are you gonna, I almost feel like it actually goes here. Right after AI coding agents, before developer tool chain, local AI runners, local chat interfaces, local image generation, would you run? Yeah, I'm with you on this. I'm with you on the structure. I like what you have there, but like, how many people are running AI coding agents on local models? Because I'm thinking maybe it goes before the AI coding agents, or maybe it even goes. Like, maybe it even goes before our diagram of how it all fits together, because realistically, most of the local AI stuff, it's a subset of everything we talked about there in some ways, but it's kind of like really about like the chat interfaces in a way, like, because it's because of the interfaces. Like, yeah, you're gonna go find models that are local, but you know, if you're thinking about it, you're probably not gonna like start with local. I don't know. I'm lost at this point. It's getting a little late. Yeah. Yeah, just fucking put it in there. We just need to see something. Yeah, I mean, we should say maybe like, fuck, I don't know. It's its own section. It's hard to do it. It's hard to do it because I mean, we did talk about it though. You know, we talked about cloud, local, and hybrid. So that's not bad. Local text chat interfaces. Okay, image generation. Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Because like this is all kind of more or less it's an offshoot. But yeah. How many lines of shit is this? Oh wow, only 400 lines. Refresh. Cool. Is there anything you think could be like better labeled, like any of the headings or anything in this document? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, I kind of actually like this. I like your thought process here, but is there any way we could do like maybe a heading and a subheading or something just so like I would love something where it's like who builds the models is like the actual like if you were thinking like in a presentation style or something like that, it's like that's really what I'm trying to convey. Like that's the user question or whatever, but the actual section is still like the companies or whatever, something like that. And then like modalities, like it's kind of exactly what you did with modalities there almost in a way. It's like what AI can do or what AI can generate and then modalities is like the more of like a slightly technical term or like a different way to say it. Um, can we think of some ideas for those? Yeah. Yeah. The AI companies, modalities, the models, the actual AI. Where AI runs. Chat interfaces, the apps you talk to, running local AI. Your machine models, how it all fits together. AI coding agents from chat to coworker. I mean, I guess. Yeah, let's change those. I mean, it's better. It's going to help me like if I actually make a video fully about this or something. Christ, I don't know how long a video would actually be. Hopefully it wouldn't be that long. I mean, it could be just like a big course thing. I think you're hearing this first obviously as you're watching this. I think what I'm going to do is I was thinking I think I take this video, potentially film like a really quick intro, put it on my second channel, collaborate with my first channel if anybody wants to watch it, they can, and then I'll film another video that's like just basically me going over everything. And I might. Hmm. I'm wondering if there's like any way to just turn this whole fucking thing into like a presentation. And then like present it. Bro, that would be nuts. Oh, fuck. We're compacting. No. No. Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't expect it to work, actually. Didn't realize it keeps that. Was our first instance like slow as shit or something for some reason? Or is this still the first instance? Why is it like it was like slower before when it was doing some of this stuff? Cool. All right. All right. All right, this is really, really good. I just need your help on one more thing thinking about this. So I have this markdown file now, right? My goal was to actually like make a video kind of going over all of these things, just like a very casual, almost like presentation style situation. Maybe show some things on screen and do whatever. We have all this information. Is there any can you, like, even do some research or some thoughts or whatever? Like, is there any way that I could make this take all this information and put it into, like, a I don't wanna say, like, a presentation, but something where I I could easily get it into a form factor that was easy for me to present? I mean, I surely something like this exists. I don't know what that would be. It's not going to give me any good information here, though. I'm wondering if I could... I don't know what MARP is, but MARP seems pretty cool. What I kind of want to do is... I'm thinking, like, this is pretty good. I mean, I didn't read every one of the talking points and everything, but, like, I'm thinking, like, maybe can I do it from here? Probably could copy and paste it, I guess, right? Copy, paste. Nice. Okay. Yeah, we'll just do that, I guess, whatever. And then what if I kind of want to take it out of this thing, but whatever. What if I just told this fucking thing to do something for me? What is MARP, by the way? Let me look at that first, I guess. MARP. MARP. Hello, MARP. Unbelievable. Is this thing free? You sure? Open it up. Is this thing free? Does it just work? I mean, I'm not seeing any... I'm not seeing any prices. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm not seeing any prices. So let's just try this real quick, just for funsies. That was a fun noise. That's a fun noise. What is it doing? Okay, got it. Cool. Okay. All right, let's go back over here. Get out of this. Okay, I have MARP. Any idea what to do next? I have it already installed as a extension. Oh fuck! How did it expand that to Mark Szymanski? Okay, convert your markdown to a MARP formatted presentation. Things are YAML, matter block, dividers between sides, your talking points, comments. Yeah, I'm really scared that I'm gonna like lose this, so I'm gonna like try to do something here. Okay, so what I did was I moved that out of this directory. It's somewhere else now. It's just on my desktop. So I have that saved. Okay, cool. Oh shit, cool. Yeah, why don't you create another version, like a presentation one, just so we can conserve this start one. And yeah, I mean, just send it. Do your best. I want to see what we can do here. Okay, I'm not going to say send it. Just do it. Bro, this will be crazy if this is like half decent. I don't know how to edit it or anything, like any, I don't know how to, like, what's it called? I don't know how to apply it in any way, like the styles or anything like that. I'm sure there's some shit that you have to do. Hurry up and wibble. I wonder if this is going to work actually, because do I need to like restart maybe or something? MARP. I hope it just works. I also don't know what this actually even does, so I could be completely sailed up a river here. It's not looking good, bruv. Do I need to restart? Do I need to restart? We were doing really good up until this point. I don't know what's going on. Kind of looks a little silly and stuck. And I'm not seeing it up in the thing here. I don't know how to use it. So I'm thinking about stopping it, exiting, coming back in. Don't know why that has a 1 next to it. I don't know. Don't know what's happening. So we're getting a restart of the VS Codes. Okay. Can we try to do MARP again? It wasn't really working for some reason the last time you tried. You just got stuck. Dude, what the fuck? It's pissing me off. What do I have to do to make this work? Unless it just takes a really long time. MARP true, theme uncover, class invert. Wait a second. Alt Control Windows new. Alt Control Windows new. Let's try that. Or Alt Control Windows N. Alt Control Windows N. MARP. Fuck yeah, dude. Okay. Let's go over here. Say, whoops. Say save this. Didn't mean to do that. Presentation. Okay. Get rid of that. Oh. No shit. Copy all this. Just put it in here. Do it the manual way. Holy shit, buddies. No way. No way, bro. Can you see the presentation.md file? If so, can you go through and put some of those slide markers in wherever you see fit? Bruh. I didn't really need you to write it, bro. I just needed you to... Maybe it doesn't know what's going on. Maybe it's confused. Didn't really need you to write it, bro. I just needed you to put some fucking slide markers in, dude. Maybe it's confused on how to actually do this. try, where shall we put this? What if I put it here? And then just went down here and was like, 1, 2, 3. Oh, holy shit. Look at that. Look at that. This thing is pissing me off. Look at this. I know my face is probably in the way. Where's this at? Look at this. You gotta be fucking shitting me. This is amazing. Literally amazing. Just turns it into a little thing, dude. It's nuts. I don't really know how to lay this out very well, but it does look like there's some formatting limitations. Because, like, what are you going to do with this? Okay, so you're kind of floundering on this whole MARP situation, but I was able to just make a file and start putting the slide separators in, so it is kind of looking kind of cool. There's definitely some limitations though, right? Like, is there any way to make sure that the text like doesn't get cut off? Is there any way to is there any like dynamic formatting or dynamic like skipping to the next slide just in case or anything like that? Oh. That's weird. I don't know. I'd have to really think about how to do this. I'm going to ask it one more time. If I give you a command to go through this document and place these slide separators in there, are you going to be able to do that? Because it seems like you've kind of floundered twice. Is it because the file's so big, or what's the deal? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I do want you to do it, but you were just, kind of like just floundering, wibbling, and whatever while while I was waiting. So how long do you think it's going to take before you start writing shit? Let me just do it. Oh my god. The AI. Just fucking let me do it, dude. Just let me do it. It's just out here frolicking, fucking around. This is great. I don't even know what it's going to do though. It's going to just add these in random places. I mean, that would definitely help, obviously, but I don't know where it's going to put them. It's pretty cool. I'm trying to actually think though, like there's probably some stuff already that you could just dump a bunch of information in and it'll just, kind of like intelligently split it up and put it in the thing. The problem is all the talking points are like, you don't really, I don't know. I'd probably want the talking points to be in presenter mode, but I'd also want like actual text on the shit, you know? Like I wouldn't just want the I wouldn't just want like a slide that says what AI can do modalities. I probably don't just want that. Like maybe that's a bad example, but like, like who builds the models? Obviously that should look a lot better, if you're really doing it. This thing is taking a long time and it's not telling me what it's doing. It's pissing me off. We're gonna have to wrap this, dude. This is 3 hours. This is 3 hours of hard work and really good work. I'm happy about this. But this right here, pissing me off. I don't think it knows what it's doing. Read the file, which I've already done. Write the full file back with blank dividers inserted at the right points. One write operation. I mean, you're just taking a long ass time, buddy, and you're not doing shit. Maybe I could tell it to do it before all of the headings, and maybe that would at least help me. I don't know. It's taking a very long time, and it's not telling me what to do. It's not telling me what it's doing, which I don't appreciate. But you took such a long time there. I had to interrupt you because you're not telling me what you could do. How about if I give you the command to add the dividers, write in dividers just before every heading that you see? Please just write something for the love of God. Seems like it doesn't want to do any work. Seems like it's pooped. This is a slight fail. Although this is really cool. I mean, like if you actually manually did this, it's definitely good enough to while it's doing that, just for one more second, let me go over and just check out fuck it. No, I'm not going to check out anything. I'm going to go into another instance and I'm going to say, hey, do you know about that MARP extension that turns markdown files into like presentations? I want you to tell me all of the things that I could put up in the header, like the themes and all the stuff. Like what's the fun things that I can change to make the thing look better or whatever. Don't do any work. Don't do any work. Don't do any work. Don't do any work. Just ask the information. Ask the information. This is really pissing me off. It's like it doesn't. It's just getting lazy. You know what I mean? I don't like my AI to be lazy, and my AI is getting a little lazy. It's getting a little lazy. It's mustering. It's not doing shit. Come on. You can do it. Okay. Theme default pattern true. Oh. Let me copy all this. Is that going to copy? Is that going to copy everything? Okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why are we copying so much stuff? Don't copy all that. Just copy this. MARP. Ooh. It's got little dates and shit in there. It's pretty nice. Okay. I don't know what those themes are, but let's give them a shot. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at that. Oh. It's not bad. Heading divider. Where do you put that at? It's a directive. You son of a bitch. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, I don't need to even do that. Stop. Look at that. Thanks, Claude, for nothing. Why am I typing? Heading divider. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, man. Can you do like 1, 2, and 3? Can you just do like all of them? I mean, I guess it is 2s, but also 3? Is that more? Not seeing the little scroll wheel change when I do that. Did that actually put them in there? It didn't. So it doesn't actually put them in there. It just automatically does it. Okay. So, I mean, we should probably, again, the talking points probably shouldn't actually be in the slides. Paginate, header, footer, class, color. It's pretty impressive. Tell you what, a lot of people did a lot of good work here. What if we did, I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's not bad, just ain't great. AI for dummies. Can't say that. It's probably a trademark situation. Modern Builder Society. Okay, I'm getting tired, and this is real close. I have a little presentation situation going on here. It's better than a markdown file. Just real quick, how do I export you? Any ideas how I export it as a PDF? Control Shift P. MARP. Export slide deck. I lost it. Where'd it go? I lost it. Try that again. MARP. Oh, I didn't mean to click whatever I just clicked. What the fuck? Aha! Will it blend? Okay. Obviously kind of looks like shit because I didn't do enough things, but I mean, you know, if I made all those talking points comments, which, you know, the AI should be able to do for me, but I don't know what the hell is going on here. All right, I'm going to try one more time with this. Can you look at the presentation file? And for all of the sections that say talking point, for all of those sections, can you make those comments in MARP? Let me read the file first. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, totally. Oh God. Okay, it's doing something. Thank God. It's doing something. Fuck you. Love AI. Oh no. I hope that's the right way to do that. I think it is. But see, like, that's a problem. Like, that looks like shit, obviously. I don't know. This probably isn't the best way to do this, but it took 15 minutes. So, whatever. And I don't think it's touching the other one, right? Yeah, I think we're good there. Cool. That's not a bad slide right there. That ain't a bad slide right there. Keep crunching, dude. Keep on crunching. Keep on crunching. Oh boy. Yeah, that's never going to fit on a slide. Yeah, I don't think a slide's the way to go here. Can I just... I'm a fucking asshole. Oh, man. This is addicting. I have an idea. Oh, my God. I'm an idiot. Oh, my God. Am I an idiot? We don't need a fucking presentation. What is this? Fucking $19.99? And I don't even need to wait to do what I want to do. Fuck me. This is amazing. I should do this more often. Here's the deal. I got an idea for you. I want you to take the start MD file, okay? And I want you to create us another simple, we're going to make another file here. Okay, we're going to use the start MD file as reference. Here's what I want to do. I want to create a situation where I can make that into like a presentable format. Right now, the markdown file is like okay, but it kind of looks like shit. There's obviously a lot of like talking points in there and stuff. What I want you to do is you have all the information, okay? I want you to create what you're really going to create, in my mind, is like a website. I don't really think that's the right word necessarily to use for this application, but you're going to create something in like HTML and CSS effectively that looks good, that I can scroll through, okay? Basically a thing that I can eventually deploy to maybe like a local thing, or I don't even need to deploy. That doesn't even need to be deployed. It could be local, but something that I can scroll through that has all of this information on it in a nice looking manner. I'm going to give you the Claude design skill so you make it look good. And I want you to do I want you to be a little creative in the sense of don't just throw all those fucking talking points on there. Distill them down, because I'll have the talking points like off camera, like off screen when I'm like showing this. But this like website, this landing page, this thing that you're creating needs to have all of this information, like for the most part, on there, like the main things that we want to show, and then I'll supplement with the other stuff. Fuck me, this might actually be a great idea. All right, what I need to do is I need to go over here and get the Claude design skill, because this is how it makes it. I think you still need this is still kind of necessary for if you want to make your shit look good. So there we go. I have the skill. I'm doing it on the other screen here. All I'm doing is dropping this into my workspace folder. I could just pull it in, but just drop it in here. Okay, beautiful. Get out of this. All right. It should be in there. Boom, skill, lovely, bang. Awesome. How's this other one doing? Still fucking churning and burning. Okay, great. We're really not going to need your services after this, but thank you. I got one Claude going, the other, just writing it. Just fucking send it. I'm going to build a single self-contained HTML file, clean, modern design with all the from Bros. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. Oh shit, we're at 80% though. Probably should have compacted first. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. This is amazing. Come on. How are you doing? How are you doing, other worker bee? I mean, I would still use MARP if I was in a pinch, you know what I mean? Ain't no thing. This is taking a really long time to do those, all those. You know what? I'm wondering if it was a chat situation. This doesn't look like it's doing shit. I am actually going to go right here. I wonder if it was this as a problem. This is the one I interrupted multiple times. What the fuck are you doing? Whoa, what are we doing here? Why did it say? I don't know why it said that, but whatever. I told you to look at the start one, buddy. I didn't want you to care about the other thing. Hell yeah. Looks okay. Not really. Better than without the no talking points, but okay, you've done your job. Thank you for coming. All right. Might have to run this in the other one. Normally it starts doing shit, you know what I mean? Is there... ...58 minutes. Okay. Yeah, we're good. I mean, we're good. But this thing ain't. I need you to work, okay? Mush. Fuck. Having too much fun. All right, fuck the presentation thing. It's fine. Work. Work AI, work. What the hell? Ooh, what the fuck are you doing? I thought it was Control-Shift-P. What the fuck? Was it not Control-Shift-P? Dude, are you gonna build anything today or what? Obviously, we have some issues, but not terrible. Good in a pinch. I guess this is like kind of a big deal. You know what I mean? I guess this is kind of a... I mean, I guess this is kind of difficult to do. I'm considering restarting one more time or something. I don't understand why it's not helping. Maybe, you know what? Let me try one more thing. All right, one more thing, and then I actually might be done here. Let's try one more thing. Let's try this. Oopsies. Let's try to plan, okay? We should plan. All right. I don't know why you're reading the presentation one. I don't need you to read that. Why don't you plan first? Figure something out. Just give me something, man. Just plan something. Just write something. Okay. Okay. We got something. No files found. You know, I didn't think that this was going to be this complex. I thought maybe, you know, there's all this information here. Like I'm tempted to just throw it in anti-gravity. I'm going to do it. Fuck it. We're going rogue. While that noodles, I'm going to open the same thing. And we're in there like swimwear, dude. Is it working? God damn, dude. I'm going to be honest. Claude is letting me down right now. Let's go boom. Let's go whatever. Let's go boom. Wow, that's even smaller. Jesus, man. Ah, shit. Didn't realize about the skill thing, but I was... Dark mode editorial. So if anybody's watching this at any point in life, this is fucking amazing. This might change my tide here. I mean, Claude Code is shitting the bed right now. It's been great, but it's not doing great right now. Probably shouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now, to be honest with you, because I have... Oh, fuck. Oh. Oh, no. It finally did something. Well, wait a second. No, this is just in plan mode, right? So this is fine. It's not going to actually do anything. Right? Right? I don't know what's going on there. Did we do it? Why is it changing? This sucks. I was kind of thinking about... I don't want to fuck this up. Let's just stay in Claude for a second. Fuck it. Okay. Is this actually going to do this? Okay, whatever, Claude. Fine, fuck. All right, let me just reject you for a moment. Just, can we stop you? Just don't do anything. Don't touch my files, anti-gravity. Fuck. All right. Do something. Fuck. I mean, I don't want to do what I was just doing there, but I should, like... I should kind of know what's going on there. I mean, I thought this was in plan mode. So then, like, we got to that point. We probably could have stopped right there and we would have had, like, a plan, but it doesn't really seem like it wrote a plan. Like, we can look at the plan, but it's funny how they both came up with dark editorial. Unless it somehow influenced it. But this could be fucking genius. We just spent 3 hours creating a markdown file with a bunch of great information, extremely well organized, and now we're going to create a little landing page for it that I could, maybe is not the best way to present the thing, but you know, it's kind of, it's kind of something I would do, I'm gonna be honest. They really need to figure this out though. Like this is like, give me something a little bit more than this thing. Like just show me that you're working. You know what I mean? Don't scare me. Cause I will go over here and I will do this. And honest to God, I actually, hang on a second. Claude is starting to make me impatient and annoyed. So what I'm doing is while it musters, I'm going to go over here because I thought this was moving way faster. I'm going to keep it on GP. What I did was I just cloned the workspace. I just duplicated the workspace. I'm actually going to get rid of this skill too because I don't think it needs this. Where is skill in here? Boom. See what we got here. I know that's incredibly small. So what I did, I shouldn't have given it the presentation, I guess, or whatever, but what I did was I just cloned the directory. We're in anti-gravity. We're using Gemini 3 Pro High, and we're just going to see what the fuck happens here. Sure, accept it all. I don't know what the hell it's doing. It's hard. It's behind my face here. Sorry. Just send it, dude. I mean, just absolutely send it. Do I need a review? Do I need a go? What do I do? Go. Go. I haven't used anti-gravity in a minute. I used it like right when it came out, and then I haven't touched it. Oh, something is happening. Sure, I don't know what you're doing. Oh, whoa. I'm going to zoom in for you. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this shit. Oh man, the magnum opus right here. What the fuck? Oh, this is crazy. I love technology. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Why would you ever build anything manually ever again? Legitimately. Why? Why? Looks a little weird zoomed out like this, but I am on a 4K monitor, so. Man, this is fucking nuts, dude. This is fucking nuts. You gotta be shitting me. Some of this stuff's a little wacky. I probably shouldn't say like that, but. I mean, again, just the fact that this is like this, it's unbelievable. Can we just not review any changes? Can we just go? Should we put it on fast? I want to see what this thing cooks. Cook it up, boy. Seems faster. I mean, I'm so impressed. Like, this is... Wow. 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 I could put my face down here, too, if I was going to do this. Wow. 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 Just do it all, dude. Just don't even... I'm so happy I filmed this. I'm gonna put this. I want to put it on the main channel, but I'm gonna put it on the second channel. I mean, this is just unreal, dude. I don't know if I have to click those every time or what the deal is there. Okay. How do I open it? Or was this just a plan? Or did we actually do this? Simply open the index. Okay. Open. Open. Did this thing localhost me over here? No. Okay. Hang on. Okay, so I opened it up and I see nothing. Claude's winning right now. I opened up the index and I see nothing. I've zeroed in on the nothing issue. Yeah, bud. Not near. Niente. Niente. The pyramid concept. It does say there's shit here. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Very, very plausible. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay. How about now? How about now? No, dude, it's just... Oh, what the fuck was that? Okay, now I see the start the journey thing. I click that, and then it just... I don't know if it scrolls or what it does, but there's just nothing... There's nothing rendering on the page. Like, I think there's HTML, but it's just not showing anything. So are you doing something weird? What the hell is going on here? Oh. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. I mean... I don't know what's going on here. Did it not have all the information? Or did it just decide that it was going to be a little bit of too creative? What if I don't need any of these in this one. I mean, no, it had all the information. Oi, bruv. You really left out a lot of information. I know I said get creative, but like you left out a lot of the... I mainly wanted you to not like put a lot of the talking point data in. It's kind of crazy how much information you left out, don't you think? I'm actually really happy that I did this because like Gemini is touted as very good with UIs, but like that Claude design skill makes Claude way better at it. And damn, yeah, I don't know. I'm tempted to use Codex to try it as well, but I'm not going to do that because it's 11:30 and this is 4 hours long. Can we just turn it to fast? Just do this shit. I don't know how that works. Just do it. I don't know what it just did. This is cool. but also stupid. I don't know, man. It's pretty nice, but I don't think it's doing anything. Maybe it's because I changed it to planning, or changed it in the middle of it. I missed what I did there. Pretty sick. I don't know, man. This one's nice. This one's legitimately nice. I could see myself right here. The only thing better would be if I could, I could page. Yeah, I don't think there's any clean way to do that, but it'd be cool if everything could be in one like viewport, like one view height, 100% view height, just one. But I just think it's fucking sick. I mean, I didn't do any work, you know what I mean? I just did a bunch of thinking. This is definitely good enough to present, though. Anything? Anything from the anti-gravity gang over here? Dude, we're not working anymore. You know what I mean? We're just thinking, we're orchestrating. I mean, you are working, like but we're not typing. We're not coding. There's no need. We're not doing that anymore. No fucking way. This is way too productive. Way too productive. You gotta be crazy. You gotta be out of your fucking mind. I don't know why this does this. Maybe there's a way to turn this off. All right, I'll give it a try. This is your last shot, Auntie. Is this a joke? Is this the same thing? Is this the same thing? Oh, I think it did do a little bit more this time. Man. I mean, it's a little better. Claude still fucking knocked it out of the park, though. I mean, unbelievable. Literally unreal. I don't know what else to say. I'm tired. We gotta finish this. We gotta be done here. This is unbelievable. I think we're gonna use the Claude one to present this a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I think this is fine. I mean, I could probably change just some other stuff, but like, who builds the models? Companies at the top of the pyramid, they build the engines. Everything else is built on top. Anthropic, OpenAI, whatever. Specialist companies. Cool. And then I could give people the thing too. Boom. Multimodal doesn't tell you the full picture. A model might be input and output. Okay. Models, actual AI, the brain model, LLM, diffusion model, foundation model, open weight, close, knowledge cutoff. We got all these motherfucking models here. Yeah, a lot of them. Where AI runs, cloud, local, or mix of both. Cloud, local, hybrid. Chat interfaces, apps talk to you, the wrappers, not the AI itself. Yeah. It's fucking nuts, dude. I literally cannot believe this. I might have it fix some stuff. Like, I don't really want it to say, like, I guess it is that, but I don't know what else to say. I'm done, dude. I'm done. Almost 4 hours, 3.5. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, I can maybe fix this a little bit more, but I think this is basically ready to present minus a couple tweaks. Anti-gravity kind of smoked me here. Kind of sold me out here. This is not great. But Claude is the dog. I'm gonna have to try Codex though, because I hear good things there as well. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that this was a really long video. I know that if you watch this, God bless you. But I think this is really important. I should probably try to figure out a way to do more content like this, because I think people would benefit a lot from the nature of learning how to learn. And yeah, I'm gonna continue to learn more and share that. So I don't know. If you're watching this is obviously a really long video on my second channel as of my plan right now. And on the first channel, on the main channel, there will be me going over this whole thing and presenting it as a presentation video. So if you want to check that out, go check it out. That's all I got. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. I'll talk to you in the next one.